On day 1, I spawned in as a Pokemon Creeper.
Creeper!
Oh, thank goodness. I was worried for a second I'd only be able to say my own name. That takes some of the sting off being a baby with 5 hearts. I checked my inventory and found that I had a Pokedex guidebook. This would help me recognize all the other Pokemon I encountered. I looked at my surroundings. I was in some kind of forest. Not quite the Kanto region, but I could still explore. Further into the forest, among some tall grass, I discovered some more Creeper Pokemon, just like me.
Creeper!
Oh, I guess you guys aren't so talkative. That's fine. I'm sure I can find a trainer who will talk to me. But instead of a friendly Pokemon trainer, instead, a really scary bug-type Pokemon called a Deathworm popped out of the ground. Let's get out of here, guys!
Creeper!
We scattered off into the forest to avoid the Deathworm. I hid out behind some trees for the rest of the night. On day 2, I ventured out of my hiding spot, convinced that the Deathworm was gone. I hope I don't run into one of those again. Guess it isn't easy being a Creeper Pokemon, but at least I wasn't alone in being a Creeper Pokemon. While I was wandering around the Forgotten Forest, I found an evolved Creeper Pokemon. Oh wow, is that what I'm gonna look like when I evolve? I couldn't be more excited.
Creeper!
Well, even if I'm a baby Creeper Pokemon, at least I can talk. But I couldn't stand around for long. A deadly Fire-type Pokemon, the Cockatrice, came out of the trees and attacked. It breathed a jet of fire onto my new evolved Creeper friend, destroying him in an instant. And if it could do that to an evolved Creeper, I'd be in real trouble. I ran away as fast as I could. Later, I arrived in the lush red desert, far, far away from the Cockatrice and the Deathworm. Here, I could maybe build myself a home. Let's get building. I found some trees and knocked them down, collecting enough wood to make myself a wooden pickaxe and a wooden sword. These are pretty useless, but I guess everyone has got to start somewhere. With my extra wood, I started building my own wooden base to give me shelter from the elements. It felt nice to finally sleep indoors for once. On day 3, I went out to the meadows, wondering if I could beat some more Pokemon who wanted to come stay at my base. Instead, I found something even cooler, a Pokemon trainer. I ran over to him, so excited to finally have someone I could talk to. Hey, I'm Zozo. I'm a Creeper Pokemon. It's so cool to meet you. Oh wow, a Pokemon that can talk. You don't see that every day. I haven't seen a Pokemon trainer here yet either. Maybe we should team up. I'd love to, but I think I might need to become a more experienced Pokemon trainer before we can truly team up. But when I get there, I'll know where to find you. It wasn't exactly what I wanted, but it was a start. I started to head back to my base and used my wooden pickaxe to dig up a bunch of stone, which I used to improve my base and build myself a stone sword and a stone pickaxe. Before the day was out, a Pokemon called a Zoglin attacked me, and I was able to easily defeat it with my stone sword. After I defeated it, it dropped some rare candy on the floor, and I quickly collected it. This candy will come in handy later. From day 4 to day 5, I woke up and felt ready to eat that delicious rare candy I'd collected from the Zoglin the previous night. It's been a long week. I think I've earned a little treat. The second I ate the rare candy, I felt myself evolving and getting stronger. I got bigger. I now had 30 hearts and a brand new attack to use on enemy Pokemon, Fire Breath. Whoa, it looks like I'm a Fire-type Pokemon too! I spent the rest of the day in the Mojave Desert, which was even hotter than the one around my base. It was sandy everywhere, so I collected some sand blocks to use later. Then, I ran into a sandwich.
Hey there, little Creeper Pokemon. I actually saw a few more of your kind not far from here. You should go see them.
So I did. I searched around until I found a little group of Creeper Pokemon just like me. I was so happy.
Creeper!
Yeah, Creeper. How about you guys come and stay at my base? Us Creeper Pokemon should stick together for safety. We returned to my base in the lush red desert and found that a Wither was waiting outside. This wasn't good. Stand back, guys. I'll deal with this. I ran in and used my new Flame Breath to destroy the Wither. Being a Fire-type Pokemon was a lot of fun. From day 6 to day 8, I met up with the Pokemon trainer again, and we went exploring together, searching for some food. And not long after finding some, we went into a nearby underground cavern to do a little bit of mining. It's super dark in here. Don't worry, trainer, I can light the way. I breathed a jet of fire and lit up our way, seeing some iron ore in the blocks beneath us. I grabbed my stone pickaxe and started mining until I collected some ore. We built a furnace in the underground cavern and used the ore to create an iron sword and an iron pickaxe. Now I'm stronger than I've ever been! With our new equipment in hand, we went to the oasis to relax and spent some time in the sun next to the nice cool water. But not everything was so peachy in the oasis. We were suddenly attacked by a giant monster known as the Hydra. Even with all my new equipment and my fire-breathing power, I couldn't hurt him at all.
Get out of here, Zozo! I'll take care of him! You need to get to safety!
So I did, because it was all I could do. My Pokemon trainer and the Hydra fought until, in the end, neither of them remained. No! I started heading back alone. I felt so terrible. I'd lost everything. But on the way back, I ran into a friendly Myrmex queen.
Hello, little creeper Pokemon.
Hey, sorry if I seem a little down right now. I just lost a friend of mine.
Goodness, you can talk? That's incredible. I didn't know creeper Pokemon could talk.
Me neither. I might be the only one.
Well, if you lost your friend, perhaps I'll come stay with you. You shouldn't be alone on a night like this.
I would love that, Myrmex Queen. The Myrmex Queen and I returned to my base, and I created a new room for her to stay in. It was nice to finally have someone to stay with me who could actually talk. From day 9 to day 10, I woke up to find someone waiting outside my base. It was a huge, scary-looking Dread Knight, and he was here for me. Who are you?
I'm your worst nightmare. I'm the strongest Pokemon gym leader in the overworld, and that Hydra you and your friend destroyed, that was one of my prized Pokemon.
It destroyed my friend, and it attacked us first, too. How could you blame us for what happened?
Don't pity yourself. Not yet. When I'm done with you, you're gonna have something to really pity. Mark my words, you sad little creeper Pokemon. I'm going to get you.
And then he was gone, leaving me confused and afraid, not knowing what would happen next. From day 11 to day 12, I was woken up by the Myrmex Queen. She seemed incredibly excited to see me.
Zozo, I know that losing your friend was very hard for you, so I made you something that might help you process what happened. Come and see.
I came out and saw what the Myrmex Queen had created, a memorial for the fallen Pokemon trainer, so we'd always be able to remember him. This is amazing, Myrmex Queen. Thank you. Let's go traveling together. We went out to the orchard, where I hoped I might be able to find some food that would make me stronger. Instead, we just found an angry siren who didn't want to have our company. Being attacked while just going on a walk really gets me fired up. I breathed fire on the siren, defeating it, and the Myrmex Queen and I continued searching for ways to get stronger. That's when we met a friendly troll, and I decided to ask him.
Wow, a talking Pokemon. That's exciting. If you want to get stronger, you can seek out Professor Oak. He's an expert when it comes to Pokemon, and I've heard he's got a clinic somewhere out in the meadows.
Professor Oak? Now that sounds like an idea. I'll need all the help I can get to be strong enough to defeat the Dread Knight. Wanna come stay at my base in the meantime?
Sure, that sounds like fun.
We went back to my base with the troll, and I built a new room for him to stay in. I wasn't so lonely now. From day 13 to day 15, I went off into the meadows to seek out Professor Oak. If that Dread Knight guy really was after me, I needed to get evolved as quickly as possible. While traveling through the meadows, though, I got attacked by a terrifying dragon-type Pokemon, the Lightning Dragon. There's no way I'm ready to face that thing. The Lightning Dragon was heading straight towards me. I tensed up and prepared to get destroyed, when suddenly a huge energy blast struck the side of the Lightning Dragon, defeating it and saving my life. When I turned and saw who fired the energy blast, it was just a tiny little pixie. I immediately ran over to thank her. You saved me there. I'm Zozo, and I'm so grateful for the help you gave me. If there's anything I can do, please let me know.
I'd always do whatever I can to help out a kind stranger. But sadly, I used up the last of my magical power to defeat that dragon. Do you think you could go and defeat the ghost-type Pokemon who's been haunting the meadow?
After the way you saved me there, it's really the least I could do. I traveled further into the meadow until I saw the spooky ghost type floating around. Thankfully, the undead hate fire, and with my fire-breathing power, I was soon able to defeat it. This ghost is toast. I then returned to the pixie to give her the good news and ask her if she knew anything about Professor Oak.
Thank you for the help, Zozo. Professor Oak is out of town on a research trip at the moment, but he'll be back in a week or so.
Thanks for the heads up. At least I was able to help here in the meantime. With that valuable info, I turned and started heading in the direction of my base. From day 16 to day 19, I returned to my base, only to find it was being attacked by a deadly Gorgon. I saw the friendly troll who told me about Professor Oak running at her, trying to defend the base. But it was hopeless. She destroyed him in one hit. No, Mr. Troll, you monster! I ran in to battle the Gorgon for what she'd done. I tried to hit her with my sword and my flame breath, but neither seemed to have an effect. She just laughed at me.
You sad little creeper Pokemon. Is that all you've got? Wow, the Dread Knight is wasting his time even sending me to destroy you. I've got better things to do. Later, loser.
With that, the Gorgon left, leaving me in the ruins of my base with another friend gone. At least I still had the Myrmex Queen, and she came to comfort me.
Don't worry, Zozo. We'll get back at them. And in the meantime, we'll repair the base and build back better.
I took the time to extinguish the fire around my base. Then, I returned to the underground cavern, mining more materials so I could make myself some iron armor. I can't afford to be unprotected right now. By the time I got back to my base, I found something exciting. The Myrmex Queen had invited over a bunch of Myrmex workers. They'd not only built a whole barracks for them to all live in, they'd also built a watchtower for us to keep a lookout for any more of the Dread Knight's henchmen. I ran over to the Myrmex Queen to thank her. This is amazing, Myrmex Queen. It's starting to really look like a base here.
You know what would make it even more like a base? A super cool statue.
That's an excellent idea. And in fact, I know exactly what to build. From day 20 to day 22, I was wandering around the prairie, looking for new friends and potentially new upgrades and gear. Instead, I found an angry Dread Scuttler. I really don't want to deal with this today. I defeated the Dread Scuttler with my iron sword and proceeded to collect a bunch of blocks that I could use to start building the statue. You'll never guess what it is. On my way back through the lush red desert to my base, I found a few sheep wandering around and decided to herd them back to my base. I built a paddock to house them all. This will be perfect for gathering wool for making banners. That's when the Myrmex Queen came over to me with some good news.
Hey Zozo, I got started on your statue, and I think it's coming along nicely. But it's gonna need those new materials you gathered next.
I'll add them right away. I ran in and continued work on the statue, getting it just a little further along with the new materials I'd collected. Can you guess what it is yet? Let me know down in the comments. From day 23 to day 26, I returned to the meadow, hoping that this time I'd get a chance to speak with Professor Oak. He's gotta be back from his research trip by now. Just then, from out of the grass came an Enderman, a really dangerous Dark-type Pokemon. It swiped for me with its long arms, but I dodged and drew my sword. Prepare for battle! I used my Fire Breath attack to weaken the Enderman and finished it off with an Iron Sword strike. Before I could celebrate, two more Endermen jumped out and tried to pick up where the first one left off. I defeated them both with some difficulty. Not much later, I found a rare Ghost-type Pokemon known as a Ghast. Ghost types are weak against Dark types, so it must have been hiding from all the Endermen out here. Hey, Ghast, it would be safer if you came to live at my base. There are lots of friendly Bug-type Pokemon there now.
No thanks, Creeper Pokemon. Let's ghost hunt alone.
Then the Ghast vanished into thin air. I guess he was serious about being alone. I went back to searching, and soon I found a man in a lab coat standing in the meadow. Are you Professor Oak?
Why yes, I am the famous Professor Oak, world-renowned Pokemon expert. And who might you be?
I'm a creeper Pokemon, but I can talk. My friends call me Zozo.
Well, I've certainly met talking Pokemon before, but it's always an ultra-rare occurrence. Where's your trainer anyway?
That's the problem. I don't have one right now. I was hoping since you're a Pokemon expert, you could train me so I could become stronger.
I don't see why not. I've been meaning to do more research on creeper Pokemon regardless. Let's get started.
On day 27 to day 31, I trained with Professor Oak in order to increase the power of my moves in battle. I could definitely feel that my base stats were becoming stronger. You're not just an expert professor, you're an expert trainer.
My work is almost done here, Zozo. You'll be a fighting machine after you complete the last challenge of your hyper training.
If it means being strong enough to face the Dread Knight, I'll do whatever it takes.
Very good answer. Now I will present you with your challenge. You must defeat a Wild Ravager. It is a fighting-type Pokemon known for its merciless attacks. It will be a formidable foe, but if you're ready and you believe in your training, you should be able to win.
I won't let you down, Professor.
Here are some super potions that might help you recover your hearts in the battle.
Thanks! I went to where the wild Ravager could be found and took on the professor's challenge. Using everything I had learned so far on my journey, I battled the Ravager. It was a tough fight, and the Ravager's fighting moves were very strong. But I was strong now too, and I managed to hang in there and retaliate with some attacks of my own. I was down to low health, but I still managed to get the win. Good thing I had those super potions. From day 32 to day 35, I told Professor Oak that I had defeated the Ravager. He seemed very impressed with my progress.
Very good, Zozo. You are one powerful creeper Pokemon now.
Thanks, Professor. You really believed in me.
And you believed in yourself too. That's half the battle.
What's the other half, Professor?
Battle. Now take this league badge to prove that you've got what it takes to be a champ in the making.
All right! I decided to return home to base to tell the others the good news about my training. I had made it all the way back to the Mojave Desert when I saw the ghast from earlier, and they were in trouble.
Help! Help! An evil gym leader is trying to capture me!
Evil gym leader? That sounds like… Oh no, it is! The Dread Knight was here! I didn't expect that I'd run into him so soon.
Stop running away, Ghast! I'm trying to add you to my Pokemon team! A spooky ghost type would make an excellent addition!
The Dread Knight didn't see me yet. I could sneak up on him and attack. But what if I lost? I might have earned a league badge, but he was still a gym leader. For now, I have to retreat. Sorry, Ghast. If only you'd listened to me before. A little later, I was at the Oasis, still trying to find my way home, when I ran into a giant pig Pokemon, the Piglin Brute. No problem, pigs are usually normal type, so this should be a cinch. But it wasn't as easy as I expected. The Piglin Brute had so many hit points, and its attacks felt like critical hits. Oh no, am I too weak to fight this Pokemon too? I ran away from the battle and continued on for home where I thought I'd be safer. I couldn't believe that I was still so weak after all the training I did. From day 36 to day 39, I arrived home safe and sound, except the base wasn't safe or sound. It was being attacked by the Gorgon again. Oh no, last time I fought her, I barely did any damage.
We meet again, Zozo. Have you come home so you can lose to me again?
No way! If I don't step up and beat you now, the Myrmex Queen and all the others will be in danger.
Suit yourself. I'm going to enjoy this.
We began to battle, and once again, my fire breath and sword attacks were not very effective. And that's when it hit me. Gorgon must be a rock type, and that's why she has such high defenses. But there's one way to deal with rock types, a fighting type attack like Rock Smash. I unequipped my sword and attacked with my fists like a fighting type. Somehow, it actually damaged her.
What? I'm hit? Enjoy your victory while you can. You still aren't worth the trouble.
Gorgon left the base. I guess my training with Oak did pay off. The Myrmex Queen approached me, looking proud.
Zozo, you're back, and not a moment too soon. I just heard there was a power bracer in the lush red desert. If you could get it, you'd be able to upgrade your attack power to the next level.
That sounds like just what I need. We should go find it. I took Myrmex Queen with me, and the two of us went to the lush red desert to search for the power bracer. We didn't get far before we encountered another wild cockatrice. They must be really common for fire types. There was a villager in danger of getting scorched, so I stepped in to help out, striking the cockatrice down with my sword. Thank you for protecting me. You're one friendly Pokemon. Here's a map to the beach where you can find some treasure. Gee, thanks. We said goodbye to the villager and kept searching through the desert. We found the power bracer without needing to worry about another fight.
Great job, Zozo. Now let's return to base and get it equipped.
I got excited and I tried the power bracer on. It fit like a glove and I could feel the power already. We went back to our base afterwards. From day 40 to day 43, the Myrmex Queen and I decided to do a little bit more traveling. That villager we saved the other day had told us about a beach where we could get treasure, and that sounded just too good to pass up. The map we were given showed us the way to where the treasure was. We decided to take a route back through the Forgotten Forest, and that's where we encountered some more ghost-type Pokemon, a horde of skeletons. Hasn't the Dread Knight been catching ghost-type Pokemon? I'll bet these are his.
They can't beat us if we work together, Zozo.
Together, the Myrmex Queen and I reduced the Dread Knight skeletons to a bunch of bones. With all the upgrades I had gotten, it was no sweat. It looks like there was one we missed, and it's getting away. But I guess running from stronger Pokemon is what you'd expect them to do. We made our way out of the Forgotten Forest and into a rocky beach. This must have been the place where the treasure was. Sure enough, there was an open mining pit with a whole bunch of diamonds, ripe for the taking. Sweet! From day 44 to day 49, I was back home at my base, doing some training exercises by myself when Mermex Queen showed up. Hi, Mermex Queen!
Hi there, Zozo. I've done a bit more of my part to the statue. Do you mind adding some details to it when you get the chance?
Sure, I can actually do that right now. I went to the statue and began to add some special blocks in order to really make it look good. You can almost tell what it's going to be now. It'll be really exciting when it's complete. I worked on the statue for a bit longer before I noticed that a traveling trader had come to provide us with some hyper potions for the price of some emeralds.
These are some quality potions. You can trust me. Better than super potions, that's for sure.
We were running very low on healing items. I didn't have any emeralds on me, but luckily the queen had some and brought them from storage. That should do it. I bought the potions and thanked the trader for his service. The base was attacked again, right after he left by another dark Pokemon, a Wither. Good things I've been practicing my fighting moves. Hi-ya! Take that, evildoer! The Wither was defeated, but I knew I had to make sure the base was more defensible against enemy attacks. So I went and built a perimeter wall that would make it way more difficult for intruders to get in. From day 50 to day 53, I was collecting more supplies in a nearby prairie when one of the Mermex workers from the base came and found me. He told me that the Mermex Queen had been captured by a Pokemon trainer. Probably not a very nice one either. The Mermex Queen was a good friend to me, so I knew that I had to go search for her. But I also knew that I would need some help. I decided to go talk to the smartest person I knew, Professor Oak. He was an expert in all things Pokemon, and he might know what kind of trainer I'm looking for too. Fortunately, he happened to be close by and researching the local Pokemon. Professor, please, I need your help.
What seems to be the trouble, Zozo?
The Mermex Queen was captured by a Pokemon trainer, and I need to find her.
That is rather troubling. I would suggest looking for the bug catcher. He's the kind of trainer that specializes in capturing bug-type Pokemon.
That sounds like it's worth a shot. Thank you, Professor. The professor had given me a clue I could use to possibly find my friend. I would save her no matter what, even if I had to fight more skeletons. Speaking of, oh boy! There were some more of the Dread Knight's ghost-type skeleton Pokemon hanging around, but at this point in my journey, battling them wasn't much of a challenge. This time, I defeated every one of them all by myself, and one of them dropped another rare candy. I had better hang on to that for later. From day 54 to day 57, I was in the Mojave Desert again, searching for the bug catcher who might have captured the Mermex Queen. The bug catcher took my friend. They must be the worst. And as if on cue, the Dread Knight jumped out.
I wouldn't say that. After all, they can't be worse than me. I'm the worst of the worst.
Dread Knight, what are you doing here?
I like tormenting you. Everyone knows that it is always best to capture a Pokemon when it's weak.
Not as weak as I used to be, and now I'll show you! I gave the Dread Knight a few good hits with my sword. He didn't seem to be that hurt by it, but I could tell I was doing a bit of damage.
You do have some fight. I guess I'll have to weaken you a bit more before I capture you.
He countered with a strong attack that took off half of my hearts. I wasn't going to defeat him at this rate, but at least I had put a scratch on him. Time to run away! I escaped from the Dread Knight and definitely didn't want to have another fight so soon. Fortunately, I found the same friendly villager who told me about the treasure. Have you seen a bug catcher anywhere? Now that you mention it, I think he was in the prairie not too long ago. Try over there. Thanks. I went to the prairie, but I didn't find the bug catcher or the Mermex Queen. I did find a bug catching net on the ground and one of the Mermex Queen's eggs. Oh no, it's true. The bug catcher has captured my friend. I wanted to go after him, but there was no sign of which way he went or where he might be now. From day 58 to day 62, I returned to my base, frustrated by the lack of leads when it came to rescuing the Mermex Queen. The Mermex workers were worried sick about their queen. I had to set a good example, so I went mining for some stronger materials. I found more diamonds, and with these and the treasure I found on the beach, I was able to create a diamond helmet and diamond boots. With my remaining diamonds, I crafted a diamond sword to match my armor pieces. I knew they'd be much more useful if I enchanted them, so I built an enchanting area into the base so I could do just that. These diamond armor pieces will really boost my defense stats. I went back out searching for materials because items are just as important in Pokemon battles as abilities are. The underground cavern I was exploring was dark and full of rock and ground-type Pokemon. It also had a hidden treasure in the form of a battle axe. I gave the axe a few swings, and I could already tell how strong it was. I could do some really damaging moves with this thing. The battle axe worked really well on the rock types in the area, so I know it would prove effective on Gorgon too. I returned above ground to base and found that the ghast was waiting for me.
I have escaped to the Dread Knight, and I have some news for you.
What kind of news?
I've heard that the Bugcatcher is trying to become stronger so he can fight the Dread Knight. He's trying on the coast right now.
That actually helps. You're welcome to haunt the base. I'll be back later to help you settle in. For now, I'm gonna go save the queen. From day 63 to day 66, I gathered my strongest equipment and items and prepared to leave. While I was still there, Professor Oak showed up.
Hello, Zozo. Take this charged coal. You'll know when the right time to use this is.
Thanks, Professor. I might be gone for a while, so watch the base for me until I get back. I headed off in the direction of where the Bugcatcher was training. Like most Pokemon trainers, Bugcatcher seemed to move around a lot. Hopefully, I would reach where he was before he moved on to a new region. I didn't stick around too long in any of the places I went before, but I did encounter a Wither. Let's try out that charcoal. The charcoal made my fire attack stronger, and I was able to wipe out the Wither in a single fire attack. Wow, Zozo! That was an impressive fire-type attack. Do you think you could help me light up the fireplace in my house? What are friends for? The villager showed me his cabin at the oasis. I lit the fireplace up so that he could get comfortable and stay warm. That was really helpful. I'll sure to do something nice for you next time, friend. From day 67 to day 70, I found the Bugcatcher on the rocky beach, and the Myrmex Queen was with him. It looked like they were both in the middle of a Pokemon battle with the Dread Knight's skeletons. Myrmex Queen, I traveled all this way to save you from the Bugcatcher.
Zozo, a friendly face! Give me a hand dealing with these skeletons!
I swung my diamond sword over and over at the skeletons, destroying them one by one. I am the Creeper Pokemon! Fear me! While Myrmex Queen and I battled, some of the skeletons snuck up behind the Bugcatcher and took him out.
Well, so much for that trainer.
Didn't he capture you?
No, I went with him to try and trained to fight Dread Knight on my own.
You were training, like me?
I thought I could solve your problem for you, but I'm sorry for worrying you.
We're back together, and that's what matters. Nothing can keep friends like us apart. Now let's take apart the rest of these skeletons. With our combined strength, Myrmex Queen and I finished off the skeletons. The last one to fall dropped a spell tag, an enchantment which gives ghost-type power to items. I should use this later. From day 71 to day 74, I returned to the base with the Myrmex Queen. We were greeted by Ghast, who had decided to stay after all, and had even built a place for himself.
Looks like the rescue mission worked out.
Sure did. The Myrmex workers have their queen back now, and it looks like the base is now feeling a lot more like home.
Thank you for letting me live here, even though I said I didn't want to at first. Do you want to see the place I built?
Sure thing. The Ghast took me to his ghost-type Pokemon room. It was full of spooky things and sort of made me want to eat candy. This looks awesome!
Professor Oak has also decided to move his research lab into the base. You should go see.
Sure enough, Professor Oak had created a place for himself inside the base.
I'm going to get so much work done here. Your base is very advanced, Zozo.
Wow, everyone has really stepped up their crafting game. I'd better do the same. I went mining for some more diamonds to complete my set of diamond armor and tools. I used the spell tag that the skeletons dropped to enchant my diamond sword with ghost-type energy called Lifesteal. When it was finished, I went to the outside of the base where the villager was waiting for me. Hey, Zozo, I decided I'd come over and say hello. Hi, villager. From day 75 to day 78, I followed the villager back to his cabin at the oasis. I had a feeling he was going to repay me for that time I helped him. Here, Zozo, I have a gift for you because you've been so nice to me. I knew it! I mean, thanks! It's a moonstone. Try holding it and see how your power evolves. Oh, super awesome! I held the moonstone and instantly learned some more powerful moves to use in battle. I went outside and battled a few cockatrices to test out my powers. My fire breath had leveled up into a fire blast attack. Even fire types can't take the heat now. From day 79 to day 84, I made some minor improvements to the base. Now that everyone was calling it home, I had to make sure that everyone was taken care of. There were some spare materials lying around, so I crafted a set of iron armor for the Myrmex Queen.
Wow, thanks, Zozo. I guess I'm a bug type and a steel type now.
You've always helped me in battle, but now you'll have stronger defenses for when we fight the Dread Knight's stronger minions.
I'll do my best in our next battles. Thank you for thinking of me.
After I finished talking with the Mermex Queen, I realized that improving the base had left me short of some key materials, so I went searching for them. While I was out in the rose fields, I encountered a familiar, unfriendly face. It was the Gorgon!
Your armor and weapons have changed, but you're still weak.
What do you know, Gorgon?
I know a lot more than you do about everything, including what Dread Knight is going to do next.
What is he gonna do next?
He'll become a Pokemon Master, of course. An evil Pokemon Master. Once he's done trying to capture weaklings like you.
You can call me weak all you want, Gorgon, but I don't need to prove anything to you. I'm going home. From day 85 to day 89, I left the Rose Field and returned to my base, where the Dread Knight was lying in wait.
Gorgon told me I needed to end our little cat and mouse game, so I've come here to capture you once and for all.
If it's a battle you want, it's a battle you'll get. The Dread Knight attacked with his usual opening move, but I was ready for it, so I dodged. I struck him back with my ghost-enchanted diamond sword. It seemed to deal some real damage.
A ghost weapon? Well, that's new. Guess I don't need to hold back.
His next strike was a brand new move I had never seen before. It left me completely defenseless. Oh no, what should I do? Then I remembered I was still carrying the charged coal that Professor Oak gave me. Maybe if I used it correctly, I could evolve. The last time I needed a rare candy for that, and I have one. I know, I'm gonna use them both at once. I activated the rare candy and the charged coal together, and suddenly I evolved into a brand new Creeper Pokemon form with 80 hearts!
Evolution? And so strong as well?
I believe we have a battle to finish!
Some other time, Zozo.
The Dread Knight deployed his skeleton minions and ran away, but I was eager to test out my new powers on the Horde. I had a new signature move called Falling TNT, which dropped exploding TNT blocks on enemy Pokemon. Those skeletons were dust, and the base was completely safe. From day 90 to day 94, Mermex Queen had almost completed the statue that she had been building the entire time. Wow, it's amazing, Mermex Queen!
It'll be even more amazing after you add the finishing touches. I have confidence that you'll make this statue look as incredible as I know it will. No pressure.
It took a lot of materials, and I had to mine for more several times, but in the end, the statue stood triumphantly over the base. It was a statue of Arceus, the mightiest and most ancient creator god of all Pokemon. I am humbled to be in your presence, Arceus. Next on my list of things to do was help Professor Oak become stronger so that he could help me fight against the Dread Knight. I decided to give him a potion of strength.
Thank you. And speaking of potion, you should go get some more healing potions from that merchant. We have a few more emeralds, and that should be enough to seal the deal.
Good idea, Professor. This time I purchased Max Potions, the strongest form of healing potion available. From day 95 to day 97, I went back to the Rose Fields where I met Gorgon that one time. Her taunting distracted me, so I wasn't able to search the whole biome for materials. Uh-oh, it looks like some other ghost types are here. Zombie Pokemon! There were zombies everywhere, but because ghost types were actually weak against other ghost type attacks, my ghostly diamond sword was the perfect weapon to thin them out. That's right, shamble away! I continued to use ghost type attacks on the ones that got into melee range and used my falling TNT attacks to reduce their numbers. Eventually, I had defeated or driven away all the zombies in the Rose Field. When the battle was over, I noticed there was a special sword stuck into a stone. It was a netherite sword, and it was charged with even more ghostly power than my diamond sword. Oh, this is just what I was looking for. I took the sword with me and began to walk home to my base. On day 98, I was confronted by Gorgon just outside of my base.
This stops now, Creeper Pokemon Zozo. You have gone from a minor annoyance to the one thing that is stopping Dread Knight from becoming a Pokemon Master. I'm going to end you here and now for his sake.
Well, it was nice knowing you, Gorgon.
What?
I'm feeling like a one-hit KO! I drew my fighting battle axe, knowing it would be super effective against Gorgon, and with one single slash, I defeated her! Critical hit! Now that I'd defeated Gorgon, I knew the battle with Dread Knight would be coming, so I built the perimeter wall a bit higher and gathered my max potions.
Has the time arrived for you to face your destiny, Zozo?
I don't know about destiny, but I'm definitely ready to take down the Dread Knight.
Then allow me to come with you. That way I can record what a fully evolved creeper Pokemon looks like at its most powerful. After you win, of course.
And I will! The professor and I left the base, and soon we were on the road to the Dread Knight's evil Pokemon gym. This had been quite a journey, and if you want to see more of my adventures, remember to search Zozo to find more videos and subscribe so you can always know when I upload next. On day 99, we arrived at the Red Rock Highlands, which is where we found the Dread Knight's evil Pokemon gym.
The challenge will begin as soon as we enter his lair. Are you still ready to face him, Zozo?
From the moment I spawned into this world, I knew I'd have to fight. I'm ready as ever, Professor.
And let's head inside.
Suddenly, the professor and I were ambushed by more of the ghost-type skeletons. Not these guys again! They surrounded us. These must have been the highest level Pokemon that the Dread Knight has. I could handle them myself, but Professor Oak was a professor, not a Pokemon. He was in serious trouble.
Go on, Zozo. This may look like a troublesome situation, but I'm Professor Oak. I've seen far more rare and dangerous Pokemon than this and survived. The only thing that is different this time is that I don't want to slow you down.
Professor!
Go! I'll manage somehow. Go defeat Dread Knight. He must not become an evil Pokemon master.
I didn't want to leave the professor, but I could tell that he was serious, so I braced myself and ran directly into the gym, where I would soon come face to face with the Dread Knight. On day 100, I was face to face with the Dread Knight.
Oh, it's you, Zozo.
No more running, Dread Knight, for either of us. No matter who wins or loses, this will be the last battle that we ever have. I'm not backing down.
A Pokemon cannot hope to stand against a master. I will show you the true meaning of fear. You don't have a ghost of a chance against me.
No more puns either. We clashed weapons, and I was glad that I brought my netherite sword. It was the perfect weapon to use in this battle. I was able to make the Dread Knight move back out from melee range and launch my Fire Blast attack. Now that had to hurt.
It's not very effective, you foolish creeper Pokemon.
Rats! I thought I had him.
I'm going to use my own signature move now. See if you can dodge it.
The Dread Knight created a Shadow Ball, even more powerful than his skeleton guards, and he launched it straight at me. I dodged out of the way, knowing that one hit from that would KO me.
Say goodnight, Zozo. Get it? Because I'm a knight.
That's your worst pun yet, Dread Knight.
It was Professor Oak. He had come to help. He threw a Pokeball, and instantly it absorbed the Dread Knight's power.
Now's your chance, Zozo. He could only use that move by becoming a ghost type himself. Strike him down.
Right, take this, Dread Knight. I delivered the final blow with my netherite sword. With the battle finally over, I was a free Pokemon. Oh, I guess Professor Oak would be able to come up with quite the Pokedex entry for this creeper Pokemon. On day 1, I spawned into the alien fields as Pikachu, the world's most iconic Pokemon. Pikachu, Pikachu. Phew, sorry, allergies. At least I'm starting off with 10 hearts. That's pretty cool. I wonder if I have any powers. Suddenly, I activated my lightning attack and zapped a nearby tree. What a cool starting power. I have electricity powers, just like the real Pikachu. This is gonna be so much fun. But how come I'm the only Pikachu here? Are there any others? But instead of other Pikachu, I saw a big, scary Enderman wandering towards me.
Whoa, a real Pikachu. I thought Broden was just bluffing, but he really did manage to conjure us a Pikachu. How exciting!
Broden? What are you talking about? I'm Zozo. I just got here.
What? It can talk? Gross. That's weird. Broden isn't going to be happy with a defective Pikachu. I better destroy you.
I have no idea what's going on here, but I'm gonna get out as quickly as I can. So I did, turning and running away from the Enderman before he or his mysterious buddy Broden could destroy me. Alrighty, this doesn't seem like a nice place for a Pikachu to be. I took a second to rest when a skeleton came shambling towards me. Not today, Boney. With a zap of my lightning powers, the skeleton was gone. I found somewhere that seemed relatively calm and decided to lay down to rest. I know I'm not meant to be here, but I need to figure out why before I can escape. On day 2, I woke up and decided that I couldn't afford to just sit around and mope about being trapped in this weird world. I need to figure out a solution to my predicament, but first, I need to get myself some tools. With a lot of effort, I broke down a tree until I could make enough planks and sticks to make a crafting table and a wooden pickaxe. From there, I mined into the ground and collected enough stone to craft myself a stone pickaxe and a stone sword. Okay, I can't deny that a little Pikachu holding a big stone sword looks really funny. I don't think I'm gonna be able to intimidate anyone like this. Still, with my new tools, I decided to search around until I found an iron golem standing at a campfire, chillin'. He saw me, but he didn't try to chase or attack me. That was a good sign. Excuse me, Mr. Iron Golem, could you explain what's going on around here?
Sure, but first, answer this question for me. Am I dreaming right now?
I don't think so.
So, I'm actually seeing a talking Pikachu right now. Huh, this has gotta be the work of Broden the Conjurer.
Broden, that weird Enderman told me about him. What's his deal?
He's kind of a weird dude. He's a really powerful conjurer, but he's super greedy and possessive. He just uses powers to summon stuff for himself, and if he's not happy with it, he or his goons destroy it.
Yikes, then I guess I gotta stop him before he has a chance to destroy me.
Right on, little dude.
I noticed I was hungry, and the Iron Golem gave me some nice apples to sate my hunger. It was relieving to know that there were still good people out here. On day 3, after leaving the spacey Iron Golem with his campfire, I went off searching for somewhere to live in the alien fields. I should probably start building my base, but man, that's gonna be so much work, especially for a teeny little Pikachu like me. But that's when I had a stroke of good luck. I found a broken down hut in a clearing. Wait, maybe I can clean this place up rather than making a whole base from scratch. That'll be perfect for me. I started cleaning up the mess and rebuilding the broken parts of the base. It felt like some bizarro Pokemon home reno show, but by the time I was done, things were coming along really well. I could see myself staying here. But suddenly, I was interrupted by a vicious killer rabbit running towards me. A creature that weird must have been created by that weird Broden guy, just like me. I zapped the nasty killer rabbit with my lightning powers, then finished it off with my new stone sword. What's down, Duck? It's you. You're down, cause I defeated you. I really need to work on my witty quips. Defeating the rabbit also gave me enough XP to level up. I evolved into a bigger, stronger Pikachu with 20 hearts. Awesome! I really am a Pikachu, and I'm feeling stronger already. With that victory under my belt, I spent the rest of my day watching my favorite show. What an eventful day. From day 4 to day 5, I ventured back into the depths of the alien fields to collect more materials for expanding my base. Electricity-based attacks may be what I'm known for, but it turns out I'm a master carpenter. Who knew? While collecting more stone and chopping down more wood, I heard a rustling and stopped. I turned and saw the same long, lanky Enderman who'd hassled me when I first spawned. Oh no, not you again!
Oh yeah, it's me. Bet you never thought you'd see me again.
I just hoped I'd never see you again. Why do you work for this Broden guy anyway? What does he actually want?
He wants everything, and he can get it too, cause he's a conjurer. Get it? He conjures stuff, and he also conjures things for his friends, like me.
Then why does he want to destroy me? If he can just make himself another Pikachu, can't he just let me go?
He's a perfectionist. If Broden can't have exactly what he wants, he'll destroy everything. That's why I need to destroy you now.
The time for talk was over. I fired a lightning strike at the Enderman, and he fought back. It was a tense battle, but this time I wasn't running. I defeated the Enderman and headed back to my base. This Broden guy sounds like no fun at all. From day 6 to day 8, I entered a cave, feeling confident enough to venture into the depths and get myself some cool new materials. After all, with a cool stone pickaxe, I can finally mine iron ore. This wasn't just some shallow cave though, it kept going and going and going. I had a feeling that I could get lost down here if I wasn't careful. It's so eerie to be alone here. But sadly, I wasn't alone. There was a big, scary wither waiting for me, and it blasted some wither skulls at me. I took a few hits, then returned fire, attacking relentlessly until the wither was no more. I definitely didn't want to run into another one of those. Instead, I went just a little deeper into the cave. There, I found some iron ore and quickly mined a bunch of it. I took it back to my base and smelted it, and created myself a brand new iron sword and iron pickaxe. This plucky Pikachu is armed and dangerous. From day 9 to day 10, I decided it was time for a change of scenery, so I traveled out to the Badlands, which were hot and dry compared to the alien fields. Still, what a view! However, I wasn't able to take in the view for long as I was approached by a mysterious figure, an illager from faraway lands. As I approached, I felt a strange energy coming off of him, like he was oddly familiar. Hi there, I'm Zozo. Do I know you from somewhere? I'm getting the weirdest sense of deja vu right now.
You've probably heard of me. I'm the great Broden, impresario, part-time psychic, noted indie singer-songwriter, and conjurer extraordinaire.
Oh no, you're Broden?
Oh yes, I'm Broden, and you belong to me. Time to go, little Pikachu. You can never send an Enderman to do a conjurer's job.
I tried to zap him with my lightning, but it didn't seem to affect him. And with one hit from him, I was already on the ropes. All I could do was run off into the Badlands as fast as I could, until I didn't see Broden the Conjurer anywhere behind me. It was the most stressful day yet. I'm gonna need to become a lot stronger before I'm ready to fight this guy. After a day of aimless wandering, I ended up running into another weird creature, an iron chicken, and we seem to have something in common.
Broden the Conjurer created me too. He thought the idea of an iron chicken was funny, but then after a week, he got bored of me and tried to destroy me. I was lucky to escape with my life.
This guy is a monster. Say, wanna come back to my base with me? Us weird conjured creatures ought to stick together if we wanna survive. And as we get stronger, we can work towards defeating him together.
Sounds good to me, Zozo. Let's go.
From day 11 to day 12, I returned to my base with the Iron Chicken. He needed somewhere to stay, so I took the time to build him a new room. Thankfully, with him being a little Iron Chicken, it didn't need to be a very big room. When I was finished, he was eager to get some shut-eye in there.
Thanks, Zozo. This is so much nicer than just wandering around the Badlands.
But while the Iron Chicken slept, I realized I still had a major headache from where Broden the Conjurer hit me. I'm too small for regular armor, but I should probably at least create a helmet to protect my head. I ventured back into the same mining cave from before and descended in. It was just as dark and scary as before, but thankfully this time, there was no wither to bother me. I mined some iron ore to take back to my base and smelt, but on the way back, I was attacked by an angry Pigarus. None of my attacks were powerful enough to hurt him, so I was forced to retreat further back into the cave. I needed a way to defeat him, but I was scared of getting too close and being defeated myself. That's when I found just what I needed, laying around in the cave. A bow and some arrows? Perfect! I went back and used the bow to defeat the Pigarus at a safe distance before running back out of the cave with my hard-earned iron ore. I returned to my base and smelted the iron and used it to craft an iron helmet. This should come in handy the next time I take a knock to the noggin. From day 13 to day 15, I spoke more to the Iron Chicken about his experiences with Broden the Conjurer. Knowledge is power, and the more I knew about him, the more chance I'd have of finding a weakness. So, Iron Chicken, what was it like when he spawned you?
Well, just like you, I spawned in out of nowhere, and Broden was waiting for me. At first, he seemed so nice and kind and happy to see me. He was a little kooky, but honestly, I liked him. But little by little, over time, I could tell something was off. And one day, he attacked me and tried to destroy me, just because he was bored of me. He's incredibly powerful, so if I hadn't moved quickly like I did, I would have been doomed. He's kind when he wants you, and unimaginably cruel when he doesn't. I can only imagine some of the scary things he's conjured over the years.
After hearing the Iron Chicken's story, I felt a chill go down my Pokemon's spine. If he was really that powerful, how could I have any real chance of defeating him? Especially at my current strength level. I'm kind of beginning to wish I hadn't asked now. From day 16 to day 19, I woke up to some shocking news. The Iron Chicken had gone missing. Oh no, I need to find and save him. I wonder where he could be. Strangely, there was a terrible smell lingering. Maybe the Iron Chicken had been kidnapped by some kind of really stinky assailant? I followed the smell as it got stronger and stronger. A day later, I arrived in the bamboo jungle, where the smell was particularly strong. I'm so lucky that this mysterious kidnapper never showers. From there, it didn't take me very long to hunt down the stinky kidnapper. It was a huge, scary vile ogre. You're the one who kidnapped my friend. How dare you?
Oh, get over it. Kidnapping your foolish metal chicken friend is the best way to get leverage with Broden the Conjurer. If I return his chicken to him, maybe he'll give me whatever I want.
I'm never gonna let that happen. I fought hard against the stinky vile ogre, using my powers and my iron sword to defeat him. Soon enough, only I remained. This gave me enough XP to level up and evolve again, getting bigger, tougher, going up to 30 hearts. Every day, I'd get a little bigger and tougher. Then, the Iron Chicken ran out from behind the bamboo.
Zozo, that was amazing! I was watching you from behind the bamboo. Thanks for saving me from that stinky weirdo.
No problem, Icy. Head back to the base. We'll talk again later. I'm gonna keep exploring the bamboo jungle. The Iron Chicken left, and I continued looking around. It was a nice, calming place. Bamboo is one of the fastest growing plants. That's something to aspire to. Over the course of the journey, I ran into a pair of aggressive skeletons. Without any hesitation, I used my lightning to take out the two bony fiends. And shortly after those two were gone, a genie floated out towards me.
Good work defeating those skeletons, Zozo. They were really spoiling the view.
Wait, how do you know my name?
I know many things. I also know of your quest to defeat Brodin the Conjurer. I may have some information that will help you along the way if you'll hear me out, little Pokemon.
Of course, please, tell me more.
A special food item. One that will give you the power you need to surpass the Conjurer. The Dynamax Candy.
Dynamax Candy? But where can I find it?
I'm afraid I've said too much already. Good luck, Zozo. May we meet again someday.
And with that, the genie left, and I was left alone again. I need to find that Dynamax Candy somehow. From day 20 to day 22, I returned to my base to find some skeletons waiting for me. They must have been angry at me for taking out their skeleton buddies back in the bamboo jungles. The skeletons attacked, but now I was strong enough to pretty easily defeat them all. I returned to my room to relax. Iron Chicken came in to talk to me.
You wanted to see me, Zozo?
Yeah, I've had an idea for a statue, something we can build to help inspire us. I know just the thing. Iron Chicken was so eager to get started that he went off to begin while I was still resting. By the time I left my room to take a look, he'd already made some amazing progress. This looks incredible, Iron Chicken.
Thank you, Zozo. I just thought you had such a great idea. I felt completely inspired.
Take a load off now. I'll add a little myself. After the Iron Chicken left to rest, I added a little extra to the statue before calling it a day. Still, Iron Chicken and I had made some pretty amazing progress. Can you tell what it's gonna be yet? Let me know down in the comments. And if you want more Zozo adventures, sub and hit that bell to never miss another one. From day 23 to day 26, a wild Enderman approached me as I was taking in the scenery of my base.
Pikachu, I'll get you!
I've got plenty of Thundershocks, so come and get it! The Enderman attacked, and I was able to fight back effectively by using my electrical attacks. After I destroyed the Enderman with a lightning strike, it dropped a whole bunch of shark tooth arrows. Way cool! I always thought I'd have to be a surfing Pikachu to get a hold of this many shark teeth. Afterwards, I headed out through the Badlands to give the shark tooth arrows a shot. The next Enderman I find will be no match for a Pikachu with arrows. I was shooting some weak skeletons to test the weapon when I came across a wandering trader carrying an inventory full of goods. Good afternoon, wandering trader.
Actually, my name is Wally. I am in fact a wandering trader. I've been wandering through these dangerous Badlands and looking for a nice safe base to peddle my wares. Do you know anywhere like that?
I do. I happen to be the owner of a prime secret base located in the alien fields.
That sounds promising, as long as it's safe.
You won't be disappointed. I'm Zozo, by the way. I brought Wally to the base and built a small storefront where he could sell his items. I wanted to make extra special sure that it was as safe as he wanted it to be. It turns out that Wally had the same idea. By the time I was done constructing his store, the wandering trader had built a perimeter wall around the entire base.
Better safe than sorry, you know.
You got that right. From day 27 to day 31, I talked a bit more with Wally the Wandering Trader. I figured someone as well-traveled as him would probably know many things about the world that my Pikachu self wouldn't.
Ask me anything you wish, Zozo. Information is free of charge.
Have you ever heard of a special food item called the Dynamax Candy?
The Dynamax Candy? I've certainly heard stories about it. They say that whoever eats it gains the ability to grow into a gigantic version of themselves with unbelievable power.
That sounds like exactly what I would need to turn the tables on Brodin the Conjurer. Can you tell me where I can find it?
I don't know exactly where it is, but there is a pixie in the bamboo jungle to the east who I heard the stories of the Dynamax Candy from. If you can find her, maybe she knows more.
A bamboo jungle, huh? I've been there before. I gathered all my best gear and went back towards the bamboo jungle, just like Wally the Wandering Trader suggested. It was a far journey for a Pikachu, but I was a little bigger and stronger than I was at the start of my Pokemon journey. But just because I was a higher level didn't mean the challenges wouldn't get tougher as well. The Vindicator standing in my way was proof of that.
Not so fast there, Pikachu. You may be one of the world's most famous mice, but you're not getting past me.
I guess you're not a Poke fan. Oh well, if you're gonna fight me, then I'm gonna win. Thunderbolt! I used my Lightning Strike to make a first impression, then hit the Vindicator several times with my Iron Sword. He tried to fight back, but my attacks were much faster.
Ouch! Why does Pikachu always get what Pikachu wants?
The Vindicator ran away to fight another day. I wondered if we'll end up crossing paths again. From day 32 to day 35, I continued my journey through the bamboo jungle until I was able to meet up with the Pixie that Wally the Wandering Trader had mentioned. Hey there, I heard you might know about the Dynamax candy.
Oh, wow! You're a Pikachu! I'm a huge fan. I never thought I'd meet you in person. Well, in Pixie.
Thank you, that's very nice. But I was hoping you could tell me about the Dynamax candy.
Yeah, I know all about it. Can I have your autograph first?
I feel like this conversation is going in circles. While I was trying to get more specifics out of the Pixie, we were interrupted by the sudden appearance of Broden the Conjurer.
That's my Pikachu. Go make your own. Besides, it's a defective Pikachu anyway. I'm here to destroy it so I can make a better one.
Both of us ran for cover to hide from him. Once I was hidden, I noticed that the Pixie was also in my hiding spot. It's too dangerous. You should get away from here while I distract him.
No way! He just said he wanted to destroy you. That's a really rude thing to do to anyone, especially a Pikachu.
I'll be fine. I've gotten away from him before. You should go to my base. We'll talk about the Dynamax candy there.
I get to go to Pikachu's base? Woohoo! If you make it back there, I'll tell you everything I know about the Dynamax candy.
Pixie flew away, leaving the area of the battle. Without having to worry about her safety, I could escape Broden the Conjurer on my own.
Come out, Zozo. I'm going to destroy you.
You'll have to catch me first. I fired a few lightning strikes at him to confuse him and ran for another hiding spot. Broden began to follow me, so I used a lightning strike on a different block of bamboo jungle to confuse him.
Where are you hiding?
Once he didn't know about my hiding spot, I used my Pikachu speed to flee from battle. From day 36 to day 39, I was back at my base, building a small nest for my new Pixie friend to live.
Thanks for letting me stay at your base. As promised, I'll tell you everything about the Dynamax candy.
I've been looking forward to hearing you say that.
The Dynamax candy has been hidden for a very long time because its power could be devastating in the wrong hands. But the old spellcaster who hid it away wrote down its true location in his book of secrets. That way, if it ever needed to be used to defeat a great evil, there would be a way to retrieve it.
That's exactly what I need it for. Where did this old spellcaster used to live?
In the Blue Giant Taiga. His book of secrets should still be there. But be warned, no one who has gone to the Blue Giant Taiga has ever returned.
I'm not just anyone. I'm a Pikachu. It should be no problem for me.
By the way, I saw you were working on a statue, and I made some additions to it.
I went and looked at the statue to see what they had added, and was very impressed by what I saw. That's some excellent building there, Pixie.
I wanted to do what I could to make this the best Pikachu base ever.
From day 40 to day 43, I went to visit the storefront of Wally the Wandering Trader that I built into my base. What's happening, Wally?
Zozo, good to see you. I've actually heard of an intriguing rumor about a nearby cave. It is said to contain a small fortune in diamonds.
Whoa, diamonds! Having some of those would go a long way towards better gear. I better go check this out.
Yes, but be careful. It is said that a Hydra has made its lair in the cave and is eating everyone who tries to take the diamonds.
I went to the cave that Wally the Wandering Trader had mentioned, and just like he said, there were plenty of diamonds ripe for mining. Didn't he also say there was a... I heard the many heads of a Hydra roar as the monster showed itself. A Hydra! That's what Wally warned me about. At first, I tried using my sword, but then I remembered that Hydras can easily regenerate their heads. So I dodged back and tried my lightning strike. It was a tough fight, and I had to keep avoiding the Hydra's attacks, but I took the beast down and was able to claim the treasure inside the cave. I mined the diamonds and decided to give both my sword and pickaxe a long-awaited upgrade. Now I had a diamond sword and a diamond pickaxe. From day 44 to day 49, I arrived in the Blue Giant Taiga, the dangerous biome from which nobody was said to return. There's a first time for everything, though. I journeyed through the terrain until I encountered a dread scuttler. My speed was much higher, so I kept my distance and pelted it with shark tooth arrows. Once the dread scuttler was weak enough, I used a lightning strike to finish it off. The mobs here are definitely tough. I'd better stay on guard.
Oh, skeletons! No, have mercy!
The voice was coming from a fiery hippogriff who was being chased by a band of evil-looking skeletons. I decided that I should help him out. Back off, you nasty skeletons! I'm a Pikachu with a diamond sword, and I'm not afraid to use it! It was no easy feat to defeat them all, but when I managed to win, the fiery hippogriff was really impressed with my strength in battle.
Wow, I've never seen a Pikachu fight like that. I've actually never seen a Pikachu either.
I'm Zozo. I was actually conjured here by the evil Broden, and I'm looking for a book of secrets here in the Blue Giant Taiga.
Oh, I've heard of that. I was actually the old spellcaster's prized fiery hippogriff. We were as close as a trader and a Pokemon.
Oh, that's awesome! Can you take me to the book?
Sadly, it's been a long time since the old spellcaster was alive, and I've been chased around by the tundra's monsters ever since. I bet we can get closer to the book if we retrace my steps, though.
From day 50 to day 53, I followed the fiery hippogriff as he led me deeper into the Blue Giant Taiga in the hopes that we could find any of his old master's belongings that could lead us to the book.
Hey, Zozo, if this goes well, do you think you could introduce me to Charizard? I've always wanted to meet him.
I actually don't know any other Pokemon, even though I'm a Pikachu. But let's not worry about that now. I'm sure Charizard would be proud to know you.
Oh, shucks. I sure hope so.
A little later, the fiery hippogriff and I split up to cover more ground, and I ran into the Vindicator, who gave me some trouble at the bamboo forest. How many times do I need to teach you a lesson, Vindicator?
There won't be a lesson. I'll be vindicated in the end, because I am a Vindicator.
The only thing you are is going down! We battled, and I easily took him out using my diamond sword. I decided to continue searching the area of the Blue Giant Taiga I was in, but with so much ground to cover, it felt like I was getting nowhere. If only the old spellcaster was here himself to tell me how to find his old stuff.
Actually, I am.
A ghost!
Yes, I may be a ghost, but before that, I was the old spellcaster who hid the Dynamax candy.
But you could just tell me directly where the Dynamax candy is hidden away.
Oh, yeah. Well, the truth is, I kind of forgot where it was.
Guess I'll have to keep looking for your book then.
I guess so, but know this, young Pikachu. Strength does not come from your size. It comes from the size of your strength.
From day 54 to day 57, I returned to my base and found that all my friends had been expanding it with new sections since I was away. Wally had created a marketplace so that other merchants could sell things here in the future. Excellent market, Wally. You might start bringing in some trainers as customers.
Thanks, Zozo. Consider yourself the company mascot.
Never heard that one before. Next, I visited the Pixie, who had built a Pikachu fan club where all of my biggest fans could hang out.
And I'm the club president.
Afterwards, the Iron Chicken approached me with some not-so-good news.
A Dreadghoul came by and did some damage to the base before we made our expansions, and he ran off with the diamond helmet that I crafted for you.
I went out into the alien fields to hunt down that Dreadghoul and reclaim the diamond helmet that was stolen from my base. It wasn't that long until I found the mob, and with my lightning strikes I was able to destroy it without getting too close. When it went down, it dropped Iron Chicken's diamond helmet. It was a gift for me after all. I'm sure he'll let me keep it. From day 58 to day 62, I was woken up from a nap by Iron Chicken, who wanted to show me how the construction on the statue was progressing.
Since we're not conjurers, everything we make takes hard work.
And hard work pays off. The statue is looking fantastic so far. I walked around the statue to get a closer look and noticed to my shock that an Enderman was standing right there. What are you doing here?
What else? I'm here to bring down this Pikachu base for our boss, Broden the Conjurer, and I'm gonna destroy you too.
Just try it, Enderman. I zapped the Enderman with my lightning strikes, frying him up like a toasty puffin. Who is next? I heard the other Enderman wreaking havoc across the alien fields, so I quickly rushed out of my base to deal with the Enderman menace. I defeated all the Endermen that had been attacking around the base very quickly by using my lightning strikes, and quickly searched inside the base to see if every one of my friends were still alive. Unfortunately, the Endermen had done their worst, and I saw Wally destroyed by an Enderman. The Enderman ran away, and I vowed revenge. From day 63 to day 66, I went back to the blue giant taiga in order to find the Book of Secrets. The sooner I can eat that Dynamax candy, the sooner I can defeat Broden and save everyone from his cruelty. After a lot more searching, I found the book pinned to a tree. I picked the book up and read what was inside. The Dynamax candy must be kept out of the clutches of evil because it could grant any being that eats it the ability to grow gigantic. Therefore, I am leaving it in the trusted care of my spellcasting apprentice, Broden, the Conjurer. No, the Dynamax candy is with Broden. That's the worst place it could be. An Enderman ran up behind me, ready to fight. Somehow I knew it was the same one that had destroyed Wally the Wandering Trader. I got ready for a fight.
So, you found the book. Too bad it won't do you any good.
I learned plenty, Enderman, and I'm not scared of you or your boss.
How adorable. Now suffer like your friend did.
The Enderman attacked me with his long arms, so I countered with my diamond sword. I knew agility would be the key to winning this fight, so I circled around him and landed hit after hit. This is for Wally! Now that I had gotten revenge, it was time to pay the spot I was conjured into a visit. From day 67 to day 70, I went to the alien fields and found the enemy base in the form of a magical mansion. It was guarded by an Enderman, so I just knew that it had to be where Broden had been entrusted to guard the Dynamax candy. There was no sign of the Conjurer himself, so I snuck in and began to search through the entire base. Because I was quick and nimble, I easily avoided all of the Enderman guards until I ran into a mutant Enderman who spotted me immediately.
You can't hide from me, you defective Pikachu. I'm going to do what the others couldn't and destroy you once and for all.
The mutant Enderman's attack were much stronger than the ordinary kind. If I didn't have my diamond helmet, I would have already been down for the count. I was losing hearts fast, and my electric attacks were barely doing anything to him. This is what my shark tooth arrows are for. I switched my bow and hit the mutant Enderman with a bunch of arrows. Then I attacked with my diamond sword.
Now I see why Broden has been having so much trouble with you.
Don't take me lightly just because I'm a Pikachu. I began to use my lightning strikes again, and this time they seemed to be having an effect. I didn't let up on my sword either, and made sure this mutant Enderman felt the sting of every one of my attacks.
You may have beaten me this time, but I'll end you next time.
The mutant Enderman retreated. I guess just because he was bigger and more mutated than the others didn't mean he was anything to be scared of. From day 71 to day 74, I proceeded to the treasure room of the enemy base, now that the mutant Enderman was out of my way. I expected that the Dynamax candy would be there, but it wasn't there. Of course, Broden must have given up on his responsibilities a long time ago. The old spellcaster trusted him, and he turned totally evil. Not cool at all. Meanwhile, somewhere else in the base, Broden was laughing about the fact that I couldn't find the Dynamax candy.
That foolish Pikachu thought I'd keep the Dynamax candy. I threw that thing out years ago. Who needs to guard the item that can defeat evil when you are evil?
From day 75 to day 78, I made a swift return to my base and found that the Pixie and the Iron Chicken had done some more work on the base. Pixie had refurbished the shop where Wally the Wandering Trader had once sold his items and had made it into a Pokemon-themed gift store.
Isn't this great? Now everybody who comes to visit the base will be able to have their own Pikachu merchandise.
That's a really good idea. Wally would have wanted us to keep using his store. Iron Chicken's improvement was another form of defense. He reinforced the walls of the base to make them even more fortified.
No Enderman is gonna get through this, Zozo.
Actually, I think there is one who could get through. I better make sure he doesn't try anything funny. It turns out, I was right to suspect that mutant Enderman would try to break through our walls.
We have unfinished business, and I intend to finish that business.
Not if I finish it first. I let loose a barrage of shark tooth arrows on the mutant Enderman, which did a lot of damage. You should have run while you had the chance. PIKACHU! I used my lightning attack to weaken the mutant Enderman, then used my sword to deliver the final strike. I did it! My victory in the battle made me into an even higher level Pikachu with greater electrical power and speed. I could now perform a mega jump move that would get me free of any enemy's range of attack. And I've got 50 hearts now too! I also noticed that the mutant Enderman dropped a hint when he was defeated, a page that was ripped out of the Book of Secrets. The only place to dispose of the Dynamax candy is in the fires of the Badlands. From day 79 to day 84, I went to the Badlands to follow the hint from the torn page. This place was where I first encountered Broden the Conjurer. Maybe the reason why he was here was to throw away the Dynamax candy so it could never be used against him. I didn't see anything that looked like the Dynamax candy, but I did notice a siren who was also scouting the area. Hey, are you looking for the Dynamax candy too?
So, you figured me out. I heard something about Broden throwing away a powerful weapon here, and I want to grab it so I can get revenge on him.
Don't tell me, you're another conjured being like me?
You got that right. Broden wanted to have me to himself until he didn't. I'm sure you must know the same pain, Pikachu?
I do! Maybe if we team up, we can take him down together!
Sorry, but there's only one candy, and I've got a sweet tooth.
The siren fired laser beams at me, and I knew that I had to fight back. I mega jumped up and used the lightning strikes to weaken the foe before attacking with my diamond sword and winning. I didn't want to defeat you, Siren. You and I were the same.
No, we're not. You're stronger. And because of that, I'm going to tell you that Broden probably took the Dynamax candy back to its rightful place.
Why would he do that after he tried to destroy it?
At first, I didn't know. I was just as confused as you were when I couldn't find it here. Back then, I saw how strong you were. You were the only thing Broden had conjured that might actually threaten him. So I'm sure he got the candy back in case he needs to use it on you.
From day 85 to day 89, I returned to the Blue Giant Taiga and began to make my preparations to go face Broden the Conjurer at his base. I knew he'd be stronger than any of his minions, so I enlisted the help of the Fiery Hippogriff to get more information about Broden. Your former master used to train Broden in spellcasting. Is there anything you can tell me about why he might have gone evil?
From what I can remember, the old spellcaster used to say that magic is for solving problems, not for making them. And I think Broden disagreed.
So even though he conjured everything he wanted, he was really just making problems for himself?
Pretty much. He always had second thoughts after he conjured something because nothing he made could ever be good enough. This was especially true when he made the Dynamax candy.
Broden made the Dynamax candy?
Yeah, I think he did. And it was the one thing he made that he couldn't destroy.
But he won't use it either. So if I can eat it, I'll be able to crush him. Thanks for your help, Fiery.
Good luck. Do what the old spellcaster couldn't and teach Broden a lesson.
From day 90 to day 94, I went into the same cave where I found the diamonds so I could gather materials for my strongest gear yet. In the darkest depths of the cave, I found a chest that contained a netherite ingot. These will do the trick. I used a nearby smithing table and combined the netherite with my diamond sword to upgrade it to a netherite sword. This weapon will be the one I'll use to break through Broden's base defenses and take the Dynamax candy for myself. From day 95 to day 97, I visited my friends at the base to tell them that it was almost time for me to leave. First, I visited Pixie, who had been looking at the statue and thinking about how to upgrade it.
Hey, Zozo! The statue is almost done, but it needs a Pikachu's touch to be complete.
I've got you covered, Pixie. I went to the statue and did the remaining work that was needed. The full version was a statue of Ash Ketchum, Pikachu's trainer from the very beginning. When I looked at the statue, there was only one thought that echoed through my mind. I want to be the very best, like no one ever was.
You already are the best in my eyes.
Thanks, Pixie. I said goodbye to her, then went to go see how Iron Chicken was doing.
Is it almost time to face off against Broden?
You know it, buddy. On day 98, I was still talking with Iron Chicken about the upcoming battle with Broden the Conjurer. It felt like we had been through so much in this crazy world ever since we were conjured into it, and soon our troubles would be coming to an end. You're like a brother to me, Iron Chicken. I hope you know that.
The same to you, Zozo. I say that we end this battle together as brothers. When you go to face Broden, I want to be there right by your side.
Of course, you'll always be welcome on my adventures. And so will you when you watch me out there. Remember to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can check out my other adventures. Don't forget to leave a comment about what I should do next. On day 99, Iron Chicken and I left the base and crossed the alien fields to arrive at Broden the Conjurer's magical lair. Are you ready for this, Iron Chicken?
Let's do this, my brother in conjuration! I can't wait to defeat Broden once and for all.
Yeah, we may have been brought into this world by a mean guy who didn't even want us, but we gotta meet each other, and now we're a family. We entered the enemy compound and fought off some weak skeletons, which were effortlessly ground into bones by my netherite sword. No bones about it. Even Iron Chicken was able to take down a bunch of skeletons by himself.
Zozo, I'm tough as iron, but I think you should continue on alone.
All right, I'll make sure to end this, once and for all. On day 100, the last couple Endermen that Broden the Conjurer had left tried to stand in the way.
Curse you, darn Pikachu! You've sent us blasting off again and again, but not this time!
By now, my electrical attacks were very capable of roasting the Enderman without much difficulty, so I cleared a path for myself to keep moving. Before long, I had reached the room where the Dynamax candy was stored. There it was, sweet as candy. I had to have it. Time to PIKACHU on this candy. I love puns. I gobbled up the candy and grew to gigantic size. I had become my mightiest form of all, Gigantamax PIKACHU. I had 80 hearts and felt like my lightning was stronger than ever. Shortly after I ate the Dynamax candy, Broden entered the room.
No! What have you done? You've gained the power of the Dynamax candy!
I sure have. What now, Broden?
How about this?
He rushed towards me and dealt a heavy blow, but I was adamant to defeat him. So I countered with lightning strikes and brought my netherite sword into the fight with a vengeance.
I conjured you into this world, and I can unconjure you!
No, you don't, Broden. This Pikachu is a free Pokemon. I hit him with my sword and then delivered the final strike of Max Lightning, taking him out for good. Guess it's all Pika now. On day 1, I spawned into the alien fields as a Charmander. Oh wow, I'm a fire-type Pokemon. This is awesome. I wonder if I can collect enough XP to evolve into a Charizard. But before I knew it, something wet hit me in the face. It was some kind of water blast, so strong that it felt like it was shot out of a cannon. This could only mean one thing. I turned around and saw a big, powerful Blastoise laughing at me from a treetop.
I knew I'd find a fire type around here somewhere. You'll make perfect target practice.
Wait, so you're the one who hit me with that water blast? Why? I don't even know you.
You don't need to know me, and I don't need to know you. You're a fire type, and I'm a water type. We're opposites, and that's why we should be natural enemies.
That doesn't make any sense. Why can't we be friends just because we're different types?
No, I think being enemies is way more fun. Now run away before I drown you in water blasts.
And then he started blasting at me, so all I could do was turn and run away as fast as I could before his water blast could do too much damage to me. That guy has some really scary beliefs. There's gotta be some way I can stop his ideas from spreading before everyone hates each other. On day 2, I traveled away from my spawn point through the alien fields in search of experience points. With only 10 hearts, I wouldn't be winning any Pokemon championships. I'm also one hungry Charmander. Better find some food. I did some scrounging around the trees and managed to get some apples to refill my hunger bar. I do like them apples. Shortly after my meal, I was approached by a group of Squirtles, water-type turtle Pokemon that evolve into Blastoise.
Hey, fire type! You aren't welcome around these parts. If you don't get lost, we'll spray you with water.
Oh no, all of you must be listening to the hateful words of that narrow-minded old Blastoise.
Don't diss Blastoise! We're the Squirtle Squad, and we make sure everyone knows that water types are the best.
Why are you being so mean? All I was doing was eating apples.
Doesn't matter what you were doing. You're not the same type as us, so you're our enemy. Get 'em, boys!
The Squirtles attacked all together, and I started losing hearts. I couldn't even fight back because they outnumbered me. Just then, I heard a voice from nearby.
Hey, Squirtle Squad, leave him alone.
It was a Bulbasaur, a grass-type Pokemon known for having a sprouted plant on its back.
No, a grass type! We're afraid of those because they're strong against us!
The Squirtles ran away, leaving me hurt but alive, with half a heart remaining. I turned to the Bulbasaur and expressed my gratitude. Thank you for saving me. Those guys were going to tear me apart just for being a fire type.
You don't have to worry about that from me, new Charmander friend. Follow me. There's someone you should meet.
On day 3, Bulbasaur led me to a campfire where another fire type, a Flareon, was waiting. Boy, am I happy to see another fire type. No offense, Bulbasaur.
You've been through a lot, so I forgive you. How about you go talk to Flareon?
I listened to Bulbasaur and approached the campfire. Flareon greeted me with a nod, and I told him everything about what had happened to me because of Blastoise and his Squirtle Squad.
That Blastoise is fully evolved. He should know better than to pick on Pokemon of different types. especially Pokemon of the fire type, because of how few of us there are compared to water types.
Trust me, I felt that part firsthand. Those Squirtles totally outnumbered me. How am I supposed to get a moment's peace?
It can be difficult, young Charmander Zozo. I've struggled a lot in my life because of how some other Pokemon have treated me, but I also have many friends who are different types than me, like Bulbasaur, who you've met. The more we get along, despite being different types, the less the beliefs of Pokemon like Blastoise can affect us.
So, you're saying I should go out into the world and make friends with lots of different types of Pokemon?
Precisely. And if you see another Pokemon being bullied because of what type they are, you should stand up for them. Pokemon of different types make a more balanced team after all.
Wow, thanks Flareon. I think I know how to make life a little bit easier for all types of Pokemon. I'm gonna get out there and stop the hate. I left the campfire and returned to Bulbasaur, telling him about my new quest to stop the spread of Blastoise's terrible ideas. So that's why I'm going to find different types of Pokemon and get to know them.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Can I come with you, Zozo?
Sure, Bulbasaur. Let's be friends and work together. From day 4 to day 5, I knocked down a tree for wood and crafted a wooden pickaxe which I used to gather stone. I think I'll make a whole set of stone tools. I cast aside my wooden pickaxe in favor of a stone pickaxe. I also crafted a stone sword to help protect myself from the next time I'm in a fight.
Hey, Zozo! We should build a base around here. That way we'll have a place for all our new friends to hang out in.
Great idea, Bulbasaur! It'll be a Pokemon home that welcomes all types. I laid the foundation for the base in stone and built 2 different rooms designed for Bulbasaur and myself. For Bulbasaur's room, I added lots of plants and green textures that were fitting for a grass type. My room had a fire pit and a bunch of coal to keep it warm. A fire-type Pokemon needs to have fire after all. While our rooms were really different from each other, they were still close enough that we could visit each other. How do you like the room, Bulbasaur?
It's very nice, Zozo. I'm glad you made it specially for me. It shows you're really accepting of different types of Pokemon.
Awesome! I want everyone to feel welcome when they come to live here. I went outside to search for more materials. I was digging another hole when out popped a Sandslash, a fully evolved ground-type Pokemon. Before I could offer a friendly greeting, the Sandslash attacked me. It must have thought I was easy pickings because fire types are weak against ground types. Why can't we get along? I fought back using my sword and drove the Sandslash back underground. Before I knew it, I had won the fight, and the experience points from the, experience. And it caused me to evolve into a Charmeleon. I learned how to use Fire Breath, and my number of hearts increased to 30. From day 6 to day 8, I traveled to the Black Forest in search of new Pokemon friends. Woods that are this deep and dark have to be hiding some truly mysterious Pokemon. And now that I'm a Charmeleon, I'm sure I can protect myself if I need to. It turned out that the one I needed to protect was another fire-type Pokemon known as a Vulpix.
Stop it, Beedrill. Leave me be.
I ran to where I heard the Vulpix's cries and saw that she was fending off a Beedrill, a poison bug Pokemon with powerful stingers. Buzz off, Beedrill! I dove into the fray and hit the Beedrill with my stone sword, which gave the Vulpix a chance to get to a safe distance. Beedrill tried hitting me with its needle stingers, but I dodged and hit it a few more times with my sword. Just as the Beedrill started to use its poisonous ranged attacks, I attacked with my Fire Breath, dealing super effective levels of damage. The Beedrill fainted, so I went to go check on Vulpix. Are you okay, Vulpix?
I've had better days. I'm really lucky that a Charmeleon like you came along.
Call me Zozo. I'm on a quest for all kinds of Pokemon friends.
Hi, Zozo. Would you be able to help me one more time? I was poisoned by that Beedrill, and I need some help getting Pecha berries to work like antidotes.
Count on me. Flareon told me that us fire types have to stick together too. From day 9 to day 10, I walked through the Black Forest with Vulpix until we reached a berry bush that was covered in Pecha berries. I grabbed one of the berries off the shrub and fed it to Vulpix. How do you feel?
I feel great, which means the poison status effect is cured. Thanks, Zozo.
Sweet! We should stock up on some of these berries for the base, just in case anyone else is poisoned. I went back to the Pecha berry bush to gather more, but I was stopped when the ground shook. A Dugtrio burst up from the ground and stared me down with its 3 heads.
And no stomping around above my home. I'll have you earthquaking in your boots, Charmeleon.
I didn't mean to disturb you, Mr. Dugtrio. I'll just take the berries and be on my way.
You'll take nothing but a beatdown, you fire-type brat.
Dugtrio hit me with its powerful ground-type digging moves. I used my Fire Breath, but it barely did any damage. The ground Pokemon was also way too fast to hit with my sword. The only thing I could do was run away, back to Vulpix. I didn't get the berries.
That's all right. You saved me at least. You're a real friend, Zozo.
Thanks, Vulpix. I'm heading back to my base now, and you're welcome to tag along. From day 11 to day 12, I constructed another room fit for a fire type so that Vulpix could live comfortably inside the base. It was nice to know that there was one more fire type friend who would be safe from the Squirtle Squad and Blastoise. Once I was finished with the room, I went to see Vulpix, who had been doing some building of her own.
Hey, Zozo, I made us a storage room to store all of our food and other supplies.
I looked around at the base and saw that Vulpix had done exactly what she said. The base was looking more like a home than ever before. That's really nice, Vulpix. Did you do this because you already like living here?
You got it. I wanted to thank you for all you've done for me. I really look forward to seeing this place full of new Pokemon friends.
It will be, Vulpix, and you're one of us now.
Thank you. Truth is, I've needed a place to belong. For a while, I've been struggling because other types of Pokemon have picked on me. Especially because I was a fire Pokemon. Especially Blastoise and his Squirtle Squad.
Don't worry, Vulpix. I'll make sure to create a world where nobody is picked on because of their types. After the base was renovated, I went down into the mines to get some stronger materials. I dug for iron ore and found enough to make some iron ingots. With that, I upgraded my stone sword and stone pickaxe to an iron sword and an iron pickaxe. Back on the surface, I discovered some sheep in the alien fields and went to work creating a pen to keep them in. Kinda weird that these are regular old non-Pokemon sheep, but oh well, I have sheep. From day 13 to day 15, I went to talk to my first Pokemon friend, Bulbasaur, about how I could evolve even further. Right now I'm a Charmeleon, but if I can become a Charizard, I'll be able to face that Blastoise on the same level.
It's not that easy, Zozo. That Blastoise still has lots of experience, and his type is strong against yours.
I still have to try. That big brute nearly waterlogged me when we first met, and now that I know he bullied Vulpix too, I'm all fired up.
Maybe you should try facing off against the Squirtle Squad to gain experience fighting against water types.
That's a great idea, Bulbasaur. Away I go. I returned to the Black Forest where I met Vulpix and called out for Squirtles to test my strength against. Come on out. You weren't so afraid of me when I was a Charmander.
And we're not afraid now. Get set to get splashed, Fireboy.
A lone Squirtle appeared, ready to take me on. I was game, so I drew my iron sword and fought against the turtle-like Pokemon. Now armed and evolved, I was having a much easier time holding my own, even though I was still taking a bit of damage.
Give up, Charmeleon. A fire type can't beat a water type.
Stop thinking about other Pokemon just in terms of types. I used my Fire Breath to deal a bit of damage and distract the Squirtle, before I swung the iron sword and finished him off like it was a metal claw attack. He dropped some experience, which I utilized to fully form into my most iconic form, the fire-flying Pokemon, Charizard! Yeah, Charizard! I had 60 hearts and a brand new Fireball attack that could be launched even farther than my Fire Breath and dealt way more damage. From day 16 to day 19, I took my newly evolved Charizard self on a trip to the Crag Gardens biome. I was feeling strong, getting used to being an evolved Pokemon. I couldn't wait to use my new Charizard powers to defend all types of Pokemon from those who would hate and divide them. While I was wandering around, I found a book of information. It's like an old-fashioned Pokedex. The inside of the book had a Pokemon article about Charizard and Blastoise. This would probably be worth the read. While both are considered to be powerful and fully evolved Pokemon, Charizard and Blastoise have a number of differences between each other. As a water type, Blastoise is known to be strong in a battle with the fire type Charizard. But even so, Charizard has always been the more popular Pokemon, beloved by trainers and other Pokemon everywhere. This has made Blastoise extremely jealous and obsessed with proving his superiority. I see. So Blastoise started this grudge against other types of Pokemon because he felt weak on the inside. I'd almost felt bad for him if he wasn't causing so much hate. I put the book down and found that I was surrounded by a bunch of Squirtles from the Squirtle Squad.
We heard you took out one of our Squirtles and evolved, so we're here to get even.
Blastoise is making you do this, isn't he? I guess I'll have to teach you a lesson through battle. I used my Fire Breath attack to hit the Squirtles all at once. Then I used my Iron Sword to deal strong damage to each of them. This battle went very differently than the one when I was a Charmander. Even though I was still outnumbered, I managed to defeat all the Squirtles and make them faint. Oh yeah, I'm strong enough to protect myself now. From day 20 to day 22, I gathered more iron from the mines so I could craft my first piece of iron armor, and decided to take the iron ingots I made from the iron ore and create an iron chestplate. Now I could have defenses where it counts. Now, for the true test of my fully evolved power, I'm gonna go see if I can defeat that mean Doug trio in the Black Forest. I went to the same bush where the Pecha berries were and waited for that wild Doug trio to appear, and soon he did.
Hey, aren't you that Charmeleon? Looks like you've evolved, but you're still no match for me.
We'll see about that. Charizard, attack! I opened the battle with my brand new Fireball. It didn't deal too much because Dugtrio was a ground type, but it got his attention. His melee attacks and speed were still a force to be reckoned with. But with my newly improved defenses, I was able to tank several hits and deal damage back with my sword. Before long, Dugtrio was begging for mercy.
Please, Charizard, no more. I didn't know a fire type could be this strong.
You're about to see how strong I really am. I spare you, Dugtrio.
Really? You're not gonna knock me out?
Of course not. All I wanted to do was show you I could protect myself. We could even be friends now.
Well, you're all right, Zozo the Charizard. Have the berries if you want.
Dugtrio disappeared back underground. I was about to celebrate my victory and the fact that I resolved the battle peacefully when Blastoise appeared. Blastoise!
Looks like the little Charmander has grown up into a Charizard. I knew I should have gotten rid of you when you were small. Now we're destined to be rivals.
You can stop this now if you want to, Blastoise. Water types and fire types don't need to be enemies.
You think you're better than me, don't you? Well, you're not. Charizard might be a lot of people's favorite Pokemon, but there are more water types than any other type of Pokemon. Your fire type should leave us alone and stop stealing our spotlight.
Then Blastoise stomped away, furiously. We didn't end up fighting this time, but unless he let go of his hatred towards fire types, someday we would have to. From day 23 to day 26, I returned to base with several bushels of Picha berries, which I planted outside the base so that any Pokemon living here could cure poison status effects. Vulpix was very happy since it was her who had trouble getting the berries when she was poisoned.
Now that you're a Charizard, it seems like there's a chance for things to get better for fire types.
It'll take a lot more than me to make the world a place where all Pokemon can live in harmony, but I'll keep on doing my best. And part of doing my best was adding to my suit of iron armor. So I went back to the caverns and mined until I had enough iron material to craft myself an iron helmet and iron boots. With all this iron I'm wearing, I'm practically a steel type. When I was done crafting, I went outside to see that there was a great big wall built around the entire base. Vulpix was standing nearby, looking proud. Did you do this, Vulpix?
Yes, I did. What you said about doing your best struck a chord with me. I wanted to do my best too.
You did awesome, Vulpix. I'm so glad you're living here with us. From day 27 to day 31, I was exploring the Crag Gardens when I met a type of Pokemon I had never seen before. Lapras, the Ice-type transportation Pokemon known for swimming along the waterways. Actually, Lapras had two types. It was a water type too.
Hello? Are you that same Charizard that fought with the Squirtle Squad?
Yep, that's me. Please don't tell me you want to get revenge for your fellow water types.
Not at all. I'm glad that someone is teaching them not to mess with other types of Pokemon. That kind of thing gives us water types a bad name.
Well, that's a relief. Good to know there are water types out there who don't listen to Blastoise.
Blastoise doesn't even consider me a true water type because I'm part ice type. I get bothered by those Squirtles too.
So sorry. Come to my base. It's welcome to all types of Pokemon. I returned to the base with Lapras and let them settle in. I decided I should make the base more inviting to outsiders, so I harvested some wool for my sheep and placed down some decorative banners. As soon as I was done, Bulbasaur ran up to me, looking panicked.
Zozo, quick! It's the Squirtle Squad! They're attacking other types of Pokemon again!
From day 32 to day 35, I ventured out into the alien fields to find the Squirtle Squad and stop them from causing trouble. I recognized the area as near the campfire where we had met Flareon many days prior. Oh no, Flareon, he's probably in trouble.
And so are you!
A bunch of Squirtles jumped out to attack me, but I managed to fend them off with my iron sword. Afterwards, I saw Flareon getting hit with attacks from other members of the Squirtle Squad.
This'll show you, Flareon! Squirtle Squad for life!
The Squirtles attacked again and destroyed Flareon right before my eyes! Flareon, no! I blasted the Squirtle Squad with fireballs and cut the rest of them down with my sword. If I see any more of you Squirtles on the Squirtle Squad again, I'm fighting you right then and there. From day 36 to day 39, I was in the Black Forest when I met a Caterpie, a friendly bug-type Pokemon who was crawling along through the tall grass.
You startled me. I saw your wings and thought you were the flying-type Pokemon who had been attacking me.
Charizard is a flying type as well as a fire type, but this one doesn't mean you any harm. Honest.
That's good. It seems like Pokemon like me always have to worry about Pokemon of stronger types. Do you understand how that feels?
I do understand, Caterpie. Take me to this flying-type bully of yours so I can settle the score. Caterpie showed me to a clearing in the forest where a pharaoh was swooping around. That must have been the fire type he mentioned. The pharaoh turned towards me and charged right at me. I shot a few fireballs at the pharaoh, defeating the bird in a single attack. I returned to Caterpie and told him that he wouldn't need to worry about pharaoh anymore.
Thanks, Zozo. I knew I could trust a Charizard, even if you are a fire and flying type.
Why's that? I know I'm nice, but still, how did you know you could trust me?
Because everyone knows Charizard is a heroic Pokemon who defends the weaker Pokemon from danger. You're a hero, Zozo.
I'm glad everyone thinks so highly of me, but being a Charizard doesn't make me better than anyone else. Is that what Blastoise thinks? From day 40 to day 43, I went back home to the base to check in with Bulbasaur about what we should do next regarding the Squirtle Squad. When I arrived, I noticed that Bulbasaur had added a bunch of couches to the base in order to make it look nicer. What's all this for, Bulbasaur?
I'm inviting another Bulbasaur to the base so we can talk about Flareon. I wasn't the only other Bulbasaur he was friends with.
Of course, you can have another Bulbasaur visit. I didn't know Flareon for very long, but he was a good Pokemon and had lots of friends. What happened to him wasn't fair.
The Squirtle Squad has crossed a line that we can't forgive. If we don't fight them, there will never be peace between different types of Pokemon.
You're right. We have to make it impossible for them to hurt any other Pokemon. Bulbasaur and I talked for a while longer before the other Bulbasaur showed up. I could tell the grass types wanted to be alone for a bit, so I went outside. There, I was greeted by Lapras.
Hey Zozo, have you decided to take on Blastoise and the Squirtle Squad now?
Yeah, the hate in some Pokemon goes too deep. And sadly, fighting might be the only way.
If you've chosen to fight, then you should know there are other water types that follow Blastoise's scary beliefs. There is a Gyarados back in the Crag Gardens who is particularly nasty about it.
Then I show him a thing or two. If he listens to reason, I'll spare him. But if not, I'll do whatever it takes to keep other Pokemon safe. From day 44 to day 49, I went to the Crag Gardens to seek out the nasty old Gyarados that Lapras mentioned. If Blastoise was gathering together water types to gang up on and hate other types of Pokemon, then I'd need to act quickly before he convinced too many of them. Sure enough, there was Blastoise himself. It was like he knew I'd show up here. Blastoise! I'm through letting you get away with trying to divide everyone.
I'm not the problem. Charizard's like you are. Lapras must have told you I have friends out here, the traitor.
Lapras was just trying to keep you from brainwashing more innocent water types into hating fire types. And now, your Squirtle Squad has destroyed one of my friends. Take responsibility!
No, you're a Charizard, not a Blastoise. You don't know how easy you have it. And now I'm gonna make sure you never will. Starmie, I choose you.
Blastoise withdrew from the area, leaving behind Starmie, the water and psychic-type starfish Pokemon, to face me.
Bring it, Cheapazard. You are no match for my dazzling water-type moves.
That's what you think. I'll teach you to judge me by my type, Starmie. From day 50 to day 53, I started my struggle against Starmie. This was the first time I had faced off against a fully evolved water-type Pokemon, and as I expected, it was tricky. But even so, I refused to back down in the face of one of Blastoise's followers.
Why aren't you dead yet? I thought you fire types were supposed to be pushovers for us water types.
Looks like you don't know as much about Pokemon as you think. Now check out my moves. I launched a few fireballs, then finished the job with my Fire Breath. After those fire-type attacks, Starmie was weak and unable to fight, so I decided to attempt to communicate with the water-type Pokemon. Why do you work for Blastoise in the first place, Starmie? Don't you know that he's hurting people?
Yes, of course I know that. But if I defied him, I'd be cast out by the other water-type Pokemon. I'm already part psychic, and that means I have to be loyal, or else.
But that's just living by his narrow view of what Pokemon types are, which you know is wrong.
Yes, I know. But what can I do?
You can run away for now. I'll deal with Blastoise, and then you can return to this land when there is harmony between types. Starmie understood and fled. But before they ran away, they dropped a diamond, which I could use to make a stronger weapon. I thought a bit more about how Blastoise and his beliefs were making the world a more difficult place to live in. Even other water types weren't safe. Onwards to Gyarados! From day 54 to day 57, I searched through the Crag Gardens until I found the Gyarados that Lapras had mentioned. Sure enough, Gyarados attacked me on sight with a water blast. It then bit me, so I drew my iron sword and hit back. It was clear that this Gyarados really didn't like any other type of Pokemon and just wanted to hurt me. So I showed no mercy! With a blast of my fireball and a strike from my weapon, I took the flying water Pokemon down! When I got back to my base, Lapras was waiting to congratulate me for winning the battle.
Now you've seen how far Blastoise has gone to make others believe the same terrible things he does.
Yeah, all those water Pokemon, even the Squirtles, are just copying somebody they look up to. But his ideas have been hurting them by making them hurt others, and he won't take responsibility.
That's why you're going to have to stand up to Blastoise and show the world that he's actually a loser. You have to succeed where the last Charizard failed.
There was a Charizard that fought Blastoise before me?
There was, but even defeating his rival didn't remove the hate from Blastoise's heart. Pokemon like him are never happy, even when they succeed.
I had no idea how crazy this whole thing was. Blastoise is the worst! From day 58 to day 62, I expanded the farm so it could hold even more sheep. Down below in the mines, I used my iron pickaxe to dig out some diamonds, which combined with the diamond that Starmie had given me, allowed me to craft a heckin' awesome new diamond sword. The diamonds I had left over went towards upgrading my pickaxe from iron to diamond. Once I was done mining, I saw that Bulbasaur had added a brand new fireplace outside. Whoa, Bulbasaur! You made a fireplace even though you're a grass type?
Of course! Hanging out with you and seeing how nice you are has made me totally unafraid of fire. Flareon would be so proud of me.
I guess the Pokemon who were living here had started to adapt to being around each other's types, so being comfortable around fire had become no big deal. The harmony between the types that we've been striving for feels closer every day. From day 63 to day 66, Vulpix came to visit me in the mine. She had a hint about a biome I hadn't yet explored.
The Dead Sea is home to a bunch of Pokemon I used to be friends with before the Squirtle Squad chased me away.
You think we might be able to recruit any of your old friends?
I don't know. The Squirtle Squad is pretty unforgiving and might have already chased them away, or worse. But you should try anyway.
I went to the Dead Sea and looked around, but at first, there didn't seem to be any Pokemon there. Then, I heard a buzzing noise from behind me.
I finally found you.
I turned around in shock and saw a bug-type Pokemon, Butterfree, flying in the air. Do you know Vulpix?
Huh? Who's that?
Okay then, this is about me. Are you an enemy?
What? No, Zozo, it's me, Caterpie. I evolved into a Metapod and then a Butterfree.
Oh, good to see you. I've been so on edge lately that I guess I was expecting a fight.
You're right to be careful around here. I've heard Blastoise's base is here in the Dead Sea somewhere. I was looking for it so I could help you out.
Well, thanks, Butterfree. I guess I can help you find it while I'm here. From day 67 to day 70, Butterfree and I explored the Dead Sea for any signs of Blastoise and his Squirtle Squad. I appreciate that you remembered me, even after you evolved, Butterfree.
You saved me once, and I didn't want to see another Charizard get absolutely washed by Blastoise. This time, you'll win and prove him wrong.
Like I always say, I'll do my best. We continued through the Dead Sea until we encountered a wild Raticate, a normal-type rodent Pokemon with an abnormal need to Super Fang us into submission. But instead of running away, I used my Fire Breath to burn the Raticate and scare him off. Yeah, run away! You don't want to fight us! There were so many Pokemon in the world that were quick to jump into a fight, probably because that's what they were used to. Pokemon battles are one thing, but all the fighting and hatred is getting us nowhere. A little bit later, Butterfree pointed out a military-looking fortress.
There it is! The Blastoise Fortress! I found it!
All right, Butterfree, well done!
This is as far as I'll go for now. Feel free to keep exploring, Charizard, but don't do anything reckless.
From day 71 to day 74, I decided to head back home to get prepared to face Blastoise while thinking about the Pokemon that had helped me make it this far. And all the subscribers like you that have helped me make it to 1 million subscribers. Remember to search Zozo for more of my videos. Home isn't far now. Here goes. Kept on walking, but then my progress was halted by the sudden appearance of Blastoise himself.
Starmie failed to defeat you. I should have known that dual type was good for nothing.
Awful thing to say about one of your supposed friends. You're a real disgrace, Blastoise.
No, you're the disgrace here. Taste my water blast.
Blastoise hit me with a water energy blast, and it almost caused me to faint. No way! Am I still this much weaker than him?
That's what you get, Charizard. You think you're so popular, but I'm gonna make sure you face the same fate as the last Charizard.
I was still too weak, so I ran away as fast as I could. From day 75 to day 78, after my crushing defeat at the hands of Blastoise, I hid myself away inside the base in complete shame. That was my chance to take him on and prove in front of the whole world that his beliefs were wrong. If I couldn't defeat him, he'd still be out there, making trouble for other Pokemon, and fire types especially would get hurt because of me. I was still a crying Charizard when Lapras came to visit me to cheer me up.
It's okay, Zozo. Nobody expected you to be able to beat him on the first try. Plus, what's more important is the friendships we build with each other. That's the real way to stop Blastoise from winning. Come on, out of your room.
I listened to Lapras and walked outside to see the watchtowers that had been added to the base. Even now, the Pokemon who had come to live here were together to make it better. Thanks, Lapras. I just remembered what is really important. Sometime later, Bulbasaur handed me an item of mysterious power. What is this, Bulbasaur?
It's a lava bottle, but all of us here at the base made it stronger by adding our elemental energies to it. If you drink it, you'll be able to gain the power of our friendship.
Wow, I might even be able to evolve past my limits with this. I drank the lava bottle, and the power of friendship caused me to Mega Evolve into the mighty and unstoppable Mega Charizard X. I'm a Fire and Dragon type now. My Fireball upgraded even further into a Dragon Fireball, and I had 100 hearts to boot. From day 79 to day 84, I went through the Dead Sea with my new Mega form and fought against some pure Water-type Vaporeons who were loyal to Blastoise. The Dragon Fireball's power was many times stronger than the regular Fireball and hit with Dragon Energy, so it was effective against Water types too. Now this is the power of friendship. I'll be able to use this form to defeat Blastoise. I just know it. As I took stock of my surroundings, an energetic Electric-type Pokemon approached, Jolteon. Hey, nicely done. Those Vaporeons were not nice to anybody. By the way, I'm Jolteon. You might have met my brother Flareon. He was a good guy. Shame what happened. But hey, you'll do something about it, right? Right? Whoa, slow down. You talk so fast. But yeah, I'm looking to bring peace between the types by facing off against Blastoise. Oh wow, you're a good guy too, just like Flareon. Boy, that's just incredible. Flareon would have been so very proud. I hope so. A lot of people miss him, and I've been fighting this whole time to make sure what happens to him isn't going to happen again. That's excellent! Stupendous! Super duper cool! Here, take this diamond helmet. It'll guard your head from Blastoise's attacks. Jolteon gave me some diamond leggings, which I immediately equipped. This would come in handy in the next battles. Thanks, Jolteon. I consider you a friend. And soon, Pokemon of all types will be able to be friends. From day 85 to day 89, I went back to the alien fields to check in with the others at the base. They'll be so excited to hear that I met Jolteon. But when I arrived, things were not as I had left them. The wall and watchtowers had been damaged, and the Squirtle Squad was wreaking havoc inside of the base.
Yeah, Squirtles! Take down this place! Pokemon of different types shouldn't live together!
That's not true! This base is for everyone who wants to live here, regardless of type. I hit one of the Squirtles with a Dragon Fireball, taking him down with one hit.
Oh no, it's Mega Charizard X! We gotta get out of here, boys!
Where do you think you're going? I rushed at the Squirtles and used my Diamond Sword and Fireballs to hew through their ranks. A few managed to escape, so I followed them through the alien fields until they were nowhere near the base. Looks like the coast is clear. I better return to the base and make sure nobody was hurt. While I was walking through the fields, I noticed an incredibly rare Pokemon floating around in the air. No way! Is that? It was Mew, the mythical Psychic-type Pokemon that has almost never been seen before. Mew!
That's me.
Mew, the world is full of danger right now. I'm trying my best to bring harmony to the world, but it's really hard to change people's minds.
Don't worry, Zozo. I've been struggling with the same problem. I have the psychic power to talk to many people in their dreams, but I never know what to say.
Tell them this, Mew, that we should all try to be friends, no matter what type we are.
Yes, I like that. That just might work. I'll try to remind everyone what is the same, rather than what is different.
Thanks, Mew. From day 90 to day 94, I trekked back through the Dead Sea and got a better look at Blastoise's fortress. There were some formidable-looking cannons mounted on the side of the fortress that would probably blast me if I got closer. I could see Squirtle Squad patrols all across the base. But all that doesn't scare me. I'm gonna use my Mega Evolved power to bulldoze through anything in my way. A water Pokemon came careening towards my location. It wasn't a Squirtle, but it looked slightly similar, only larger and more warlike. So I ran away, but he caught up to me.
Attention!
I am Commander War Turtle of the Squirtle Squad. I hear you're the upstart firebrand who is standing in the way of our glorious future.
What glorious future? All you guys do is make life harder for anyone who isn't you.
That's because water types are the best. We're strong, we're good swimmers, and we're the majority, so everyone should have to do what we want.
If what you want is to hurt others, then I can't accept your worldview. Game on, War Turtle. I hit him with my fire breath and drew my sword. His defensive shell would be hard to crack, but in Mega Charizard X form, I was fast and I was furious. I hammered him over and over again with melee attacks from my sword. From day 95 to day 97, I continued to chip away at War Turtle's health, but the water Pokemon was resilient. I could see his strength in battle was why he had become the commander of the Squirtle Squad. Well, that, and the fact he's completely bought into all of Blastoise's ideas about different types of Pokemon. War Turtle used a Water Blast. It wasn't as powerful as Blastoise's, but it was still super effective. He followed up with a combo of powerful melee attacks that had me barely hanging on. I guess I've got no choice. I have to use that move. I unleashed Dragon Fireballs, 4 of them. The dragon power caught War Turtle off guard and dealt enough effective damage to put him in his place.
Hey, that wasn't a fire type move. What a cheap trick.
It's a move I learned through the power of friendship. Someone like you who think a Pokemon's type is all they can be would never understand.
Whatever, Zozo. It's not gonna matter when Blastoise brings down the rain across the land and creates a world for water types and only water types.
You mean he's even willing to do that? I thought Blastoise was bad enough, but he really can't live in a world where anyone is a different type?
It'll be a perfect world. I wish I could have seen it, but I'll settle for that horrified look on your face. Goodbye, Zozo. Enjoy your last few days alive.
War Turtle passed on, but he was oddly proud of himself. It was sad that he had bought into his hate so completely, brainwashed until the end. Now that I knew what Blastoise was planning to do, I went to warn the others about the coming flood. On day 98, I said my goodbyes to my friends who were living on my base as I prepared to go and take down the Blastoise who'd caused all this trouble. First, Lapras.
You can do this, Zozo. Over these last 100 days, you've proven yourself to be a true hero. You will unite the Pokemon world.
And then, Vulpix.
You can heal the Great Divide, Zozo. I believe in you. You can right the wrongs of this imperfect world.
And finally, the first ever friend I'd met here, Bulbasaur.
Do it for Flareon, Zozo. It's what he would have wanted.
On day 99, I made my way back to the Dead Sea. I needed to conserve every ounce of my strength if I wanted to defeat Blastoise and his agenda of hate. But when I reached the outside of Blastoise's fortress, I saw a large gang of Squirtles. This was extremely bad news. If I fought those Squirtles, I'd lose energy and be weakened in my fight against Blastoise. Oh, this is terrible. I don't know what to do. That's when I heard a fluttering sound and saw Butterfree floating next to me.
This is where I may be of assistance, Zozo. You helped me, now I'll help you. Let me distract the Squirtles while you take on Blastoise. It'll all be worth it if you can bring peace to the land.
Thank you, Butterfree. I'll make sure that your risk won't be in vain. On day 100, Butterfree rushed in and distracted the Squirtles, while I entered the fortress and came face to face with Blastoise for the first time in quite some time.
Finally, you nasty little fire type! You've grown the courage to come and fight me! This is the final battle. Whoever wins will decide the fate of all the Pokemon in the overworld.
I'm not here to fight you, Blastoise.
What? This is impossible. It must be some kind of dirty fire type trick. You just want me to let my guard down so you can burn me to a crisp.
Don't be silly, Blastoise. Aren't you tired of all this fighting, all this hate? Haven't we both lost too many people?
But, I'm a water type. That makes me better. If I don't have that, what do I have?
You can have anything you want, Blastoise. You can decide who you are, not just what you are. We can all be our own people and be friends. You just need to let all this hate and pain go. Blastoise thought about it for a long moment before sighing.
I'm so sorry for everything I've done. Can you ever forgive me?
I can try, and you can try too. Come back to my base with me, Blastoise. We'll get it all smoothed over.
Thank you, Zozo. You haven't just saved everyone else, you've saved me too.
Just like that, the overworld was saved. Not with violence, but with kindness and understanding. On day 1, I spawned into a beautiful cherry blossom forest as a creeper. Oh, wait! Why does my stomach hurt? I guess I must be a hungry creeper, and a baby hungry creeper at that. Lucky for me, there seemed to be lots of apples laying around the forest. That That must be why there are so many capuchin monkeys hanging around. Would you guys mind sharing some of your apples with a hungry creeper like me? I'd really appreciate it. That's when I saw a big, scary skeleton striding towards me out of the trees, and he looked like he really meant business.
Not so fast, kid. These apples don't belong to these goofy little monkeys. They belong to me, Skeleking of the Overworld.
Oh, well, can I please have some apples, Your Highness? My name's Zozo, and I'm so hungry.
Sure, if you can pay up some emeralds, nothing in this world is for free, kid.
I don't have any emeralds.
Then we have nothing to say to each other. I'm sick of all you freeloaders thinking you can enjoy my food for nothing. Within 100 days, I'll make sure that nobody can get a single morsel without paying through the nose for it.
I'll never let you get away with that. It's not fair on all the hungry people who don't have emeralds.
Well, I guess I'll just have to destroy you then. Sorry, kid. Gotta make an example out of people sometimes.
The Skeleking unleashed an energy blast. I ran away as fast as I could, but it was already too late for the monkeys and the apples. The blast took them all out. The blast also took me down to 2 hearts. I ran as fast as I could. I needed to defeat the Skeleking within 100 days, or everyone would go hungry. On day 2, I reached the Sika Woods and stopped for a minute to catch my breath. I could still feel my stomach growling. I wish I'd been able to eat at least one of those apples. But while I was still catching my breath, I got ambushed by some armored skeletons, and something told me that they probably wouldn't have any food for me.
Hey, it's that freeloader the Skeleking told us about, boys. We'll teach him to try scrumping our Supreme Ruler's produce. Attack!
The armored skeletons ran towards me, and all I could do was run away. It's not like I had a weapon, and even if I did, I probably would have been too hungry to fight. Eventually, I managed to lose them. Being in this world was already exhausting. And if I don't find a snack soon, I think I'm gonna pass out. That's when a cassowary approached me. From how slowly she walked over, it seemed like she was nervous.
You're not with the Skeleking, are you?
Gosh, no! I was just running away from him and his minions. I'm Zozo. What's your name?
That's a relief. I'm Cassie the Cassowary. You look hungry. Come with me. I know someone who can fix you up some free grub.
Thank you. That's the best news I've heard all day. On day 3, Cassie the Cassowary took me to a cozy little cabin in the middle of Sika Woods. That's where I met the cabin's owner, a friendly straw golem named Stefan.
My word, you poor little creeper. You're all skin and bones. How about I give you some of this nice bread? It's fresh out of the oven.
Stefan gave me some tasty bread, and it helped fill up my hunger bar. A little bit anyway. Seems I really was a hungry creeper through and through. Thank you, Stefan. I really needed that. I don't understand why the Skeleking doesn't just let people eat when they're hungry. He'd make a lot more friends that way.
Ah, Zozo. But you see, the Skeleking doesn't care about friends. All he cares about are jewels and riches. As a skeleton, he doesn't even need food. He just hoards it for his own benefit.
That's awful. How can we stop him?
We can stop him by fighting back and making sure all the hungry are fed without having to give in to the Skeleking's evil demands. Making a base would be a good start.
Good idea. Thank you again, Stefan. We said our goodbyes to Stefan, and then Cassie and I set off deeper into the Sika Woods. It was time to start building a base. From day 4 to day 5, we started the construction project. Of course, before we could do anything else, we needed tools. That's why I broke down a tree and made myself a wooden pickaxe, which is good for only one thing, mining enough stone to make myself a full set of stone gear, including a stone pickaxe and a stone sword. Finally, I can deal some damage and start building a cool base. I used my pickaxe to harvest more stone and used a stone axe to chop down some more trees, giving me more wood to build with and more space for the foundation of my base. Looks like I'm getting the hang of this. Using all the materials I gathered, I started building a pretty basic starter base with a room for me, a room for Cassie, and a common area to hang out together. When it was done, Cassie and I took a second to appreciate it together. It's not much, but it's a start.
I think it looks awesome, Zozo.
But as you can probably expect, all this building worked up a real hunger. I did some more exploring until I found myself some delicious carrots to eat. What's up, Doc? And as soon as I ate the carrots, something amazing happened. I leveled up, getting bigger, stronger, and getting 9 hearts. Looks like I power up by eating. That must be why I'm so hungry. From day 6 to day 8, I decided I needed a change of scenery and traveled out to the Mojave Desert to search for more food. Suddenly, some text appeared. It was my stomach. You have generated 1 gunpowder? Well, would you look at that? I now actually have 1 gunpowder in my inventory. I guess it makes sense. I am a creeper after all. I explored for a bit until I was surrounded with hot desert sand all around. Las Vegas should be around here somewhere, and I've heard they have amazing all-you-can-eat buffets. I'm sure my stomach would like that. But I never found Las Vegas or any buffets. Instead, I found a little goblin named Goblo running towards me in a panic.
Stranger, you have to help me. I'm being chased by a desert mummy.
Oh no, don't worry, Goblo. Zozo's the name, and helping people is my game. Stand back! I charged in, leaving Goblo behind, while I searched for the desert mummy. It didn't take long for me to find him. He was running around the desert, trying to find Goblo. Instead, he found me. Let's battle, mummy. You should at least be picking on someone my size. The desert mummy attacked. He was one tough cookie, but thankfully, with my stone sword, I was able to get the edge. He dropped a cookie. Well, don't mind if I do. When the desert mummy was defeated, I returned to Goblo.
Thank you, Zozo. You're a lifesaver.
No problem, Goblo. Why was that desert mummy chasing you in the first place?
Because I owed his boss, the skeleton jackal, some money. When he finds out you defeated the desert mummy, he'll probably just send another.
Then we better go have a chat with this skeleton jackal personally. And I'm gonna need to break for lunch. From day 9 to day 10, I followed Goblo into the Red Rock Mountains, where he told me the skeleton jackal was waiting. You hang back, Goblo. I'll take care of this guy myself, then come back.
Okay, Zozo. Here, take this slingshot. Maybe you can fling some stuff at the skeleton jackal. I wish you luck.
I kept going until I found the skeleton jackal waiting for me. If you're not gonna forgive Goblo's debt, then I guess we're gonna have to fight. I loaded my slingshot with gunpowder and flinged it at him. To my disappointment, nothing happened. Oh well, I guess a good old stone sword will have to do. I charged in with my stone sword, expecting this to be an easy fight, like my battle with the desert mummy. But I was so wrong. It seemed like my attacks were barely doing any damage to the skeleton jackal. He was just too fast and strong. And to make things worse, he started throwing his javelins at me. Ouch, that hurts. I needed to get out of there. So I just turned and ran. I ran until the skeleton jackal was out of sight, then made my way back to Goblo, feeling hungry and ashamed. I'm so sorry, Goblo. I don't think I'm strong enough to take on the skeleton jackal yet. How about you come to my base to lay low? We'll figure something out.
That sounds like a good idea, Zozo. Thank you for helping me.
From day 11 to day 12, I returned to my base with Goblo. Seeing as only Cassie and I had bedrooms at the moment, I needed to expand my base. I started adding a whole new room for Goblo to sleep in, connected to the common area. After building the room, I furnished it with a bed so Goblo could finally relax. How do you like your new room, Goblo?
It's amazing. Thank you, Zozo. I feel safe from the skeleton jackal and his goons here.
Great. Hopefully it'll keep us safe from the Skeleking and his goons, too.
Oh no, the Skeleking? He's like 100 times worse than the skeleton jackal. I've heard his troops have been going to anywhere that can produce and store food and trying to take it all over.
But why?
Almost everyone needs food, Zozo. So whoever controls the food controls the world.
Then we better start producing and storing our own food, just to be safe. With that idea in mind, I started adding a new room to the base, just for storage. Once I built the room, I installed a few chests so we could store as much as possible. I also started mining around my base, finding some iron ore deposits that I could later smelt into ingots. But I was still hungry, and I couldn't just eat iron. So I started adding another new feature to my base, a little chicken farm, filled with some chickens I found around the Sika woods. The chickens would lay eggs and give me a steady supply of ingredients for cooking projects. My mouth is watering just thinking about it. From day 13 to day 15, I returned to my base and decided to have a much-needed chat with Cassie the cassowary. Cassie, I need your advice. How do you think I should go about getting strong enough to take on the Skeleking?
Well, you told me that eating helps you grow and level up. Maybe you need to venture out further and try more exciting foods. The tropical rainforest might have what you're after.
That's an amazing idea, Cassie! I took her advice and traveled out to the tropical rainforest. The journey actually made me even hungrier, but lucky for me, I was able to find some sweet berries that reduced my hunger a little bit. But this was immediately followed by a sudden ambush from the Spider Queen!
Well, if it isn't Zozo, the hungry creeper. I expected you to be bigger.
I'm working on it!
It doesn't matter. The Skelly King sent me to eliminate you. And believe me, no matter how hungry you are, I'm hungrier. The Spider Queen will eat you alive.
Without another word, the Spider Queen attacked me. It was a tough battle, but lucky for me, I was able to hold my own and turn the tables on the evil Spider Queen. When she was defeated, she dropped some cotton candy onto the ground. That is sweet! Get it? Because it's candy? Sorry, that is a bad joke. I ate the cotton candy and immediately felt myself growing again, just like Cassie had told me. I was bigger, stronger, and now I had 14 hearts. From day 16 to day 19, needing a break from all the dense woods and forests, I decided to take a stroll through the beautiful rose fields. While exploring, I got hungry and decided to eat some bread from Stefan the straw golem that I'd kept in my inventory. When you're going on a long journey, you should always bring snacks, especially when you're a hungry creeper. A little less hungry now, I continued my search through the rose fields until I found a mysterious old chest just sitting around in the middle of the field. Oh, I wonder what's inside. I took a peek and found a book titled Mysteries of the Weeping Witch Forest. Most of the pages were blank, but one of them had the words, "A man who once walked the Weeping Witch Forest with evil thoughts found his mind and body twisted, always desiring but never hungry, forever unsatisfied, a creature less than human." Wait, that sounds a lot like the Skelly King. Does this mean he has something to do with the Weeping Witch Forest? Before I could finish my thought, a bunch of armored skeletons turned up, looking for a fight.
Look, we found the freeloader again. Let's destroy him for good this time. Maybe the Skelly King will give us a raise.
The armored skeletons attacked me, but I wasn't a little baby hungry creeper anymore. With my new size, skills, and my stone sword, I was able to defeat every last one of them. Seems like all my hard work is paying off. Now I'm hungry again though, running out of food, fast. From day 20 to day 22, I continued through the rose fields. I found a few spiders along the way, but after defeating the Spider Queen, they were nothing. I think I've earned myself some upgraded equipment after all this. I continued mining into the ground until I found some more iron ore. I then built myself a little furnace out in the field to smelt the ore into ingots, then turned the ingots into a full set of iron gear. First and foremost, an iron sword and an iron pickaxe. I think I'm finally strong enough to settle an old score now. With Goblo's debts in mind and my hunger nagging at me again, I made my journey back to the Red Rock Mountains, where the skeleton jackal was once again waiting for me. Ready for a rematch, friendo? The skeleton jackal attacked, but this time I was a lot bigger, stronger, and faster than before, and I had way better weapons. It didn't take me long to defeat the monster, and in doing so, clear all of Goblo's debts. It feels good to help. Now if only it made me less hungry. While I was feeling sorry for myself, the Skelly King himself suddenly appeared, walking right up to me. With him there, I certainly didn't feel as confident as I did before.
Been enjoying all the free snacks, you sad little mooch? You've been eating on borrowed time, Zozo. You owe me, and I always collect on what I'm owed.
I don't understand you, Skelly King. I read that you were a person once, before you lost your humanity. Why do you want all this money if you don't even need to buy food with it?
To need is weak, and to want is powerful, Zozo. What you have is hunger. It's a sign of your low status. What I have is ambition. Perhaps someday you'll understand that, but I don't expect you to live that long. Mark my words, your days are numbered.
And with that, the Skelly King disappeared, and I was alone in the Red Rock Mountains with a grumbling stomach once again. From day 23 to day 26, I tried to ignore my grumbling stomach as I returned to my base. I really wanted a snack, but first I had to give Goblo the good news. I found him chilling at the fireplace. Hey, Goblo, guess what?
What is it, Zozo?
I took care of that skeleton jackal, so he won't be sending his goons after you anymore.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for your help.
No problem. Now we don't have to worry about any more of those creeps coming after you. Next, I decided to gather materials that would help me improve my base. Also, I wanted to see if I could rustle up another snack. Some stone blocks. I can use these to build a stone wall around the base and keep the bad guys out. I gathered the stone, as well as some coal which I unearthed, and got to work building a wall around my base. That looks great! Super secure. But I want to make sure I can see what's going on out here while I'm inside. I know, I'll add some windows. After carrying all that stone, putting in a few windows was a snap. Phew, that really made me work up an appetite. I wandered out into the woods to see what I could find, and suddenly I spotted a tree filled with what I like to call yellow gold, bananas. This is the best day I've had so far. I picked up as many bananas as I could find and made sure to eat a few to help fill up my rumbling stomach. After that, I could think much more clearly. As much as I wanted to eat all the bananas, I realized I could use some of them to help upgrade one of my weapons. I know, I'll fuse these with my sword and make a banana sword. No, a banana katana. Hey, that's pretty good. Maybe once the Skeleking is defeated, I'll get into comedy. It tastes delicious. I just gotta make sure I don't cut my tongue while eating my katana. From day 27 to day 31, I was getting restless hanging around the base. Having no more bananas to eat, it was time to head out and explore a new area to see what snacks I could find. My journey took me all the way out to the ice spikes. I wish I'd worn a coat, but I've got my sense of adventure to keep me warm. Plus, it was pretty hard to focus on being cold when I was so hungry. As I was walking, I came across some diamonds. Whoa, I can't believe these are out here. I'll grab them and take them home with me. Then, I saw something amongst the ice and the bushes and rushed toward it. Maybe it's something I can eat. But as I got closer, I realized it was just a mungus. Oh, sorry to bother you.
No bother at all. I was hoping someone would come along to help me. I took a stroll away from my home in the mushroom fields, and I'm afraid I'm hopelessly lost and getting colder by the second.
Well, you can warm up at my base if you want. Follow me there.
Oh, thank you. Please take these cookies as a token of my thanks.
Sweet.
Yes, exactly.
I showed the mungus the way back to my base, but we were both still shivering from the cold. We need a bigger fireplace. I quickly upgraded our existing one, and before long we were warming ourselves up by the fire and munching on cookies. This is the good life. Just then, Cassie the cassowary approached us.
Zozo, I need your help. It's Stefan. He's in trouble. We have to go now.
From day 32 to day 35, Cassie and I headed to Stefan's cabin in the Sika Woods to see what was going down. Cassie sounded pretty upset, so I knew it was probably pretty bad. When we arrived, I saw why Cassie was so freaked out. The place was swarming with armored skeletons.
Zozo, thank goodness you're here. These brutes have been tearing my cabin apart.
Don't worry, we'll stop them. I drew my banana katana. I've got my banana katana, so you guys better split. I didn't have time to laugh at my super funny joke. I had to get to work fighting these guys off.
There's so many of them. What do we do?
We do our best. One of the armored skeletons came at me, but I managed to get in a good hit with my weapon before he could get me. We were so caught up in the fight, we didn't notice the two skeletons that knocked Stefan to the ground. Oh no! I tried to help him, but it was too late. Stefan was gone. You'll pay for this! My anger gave me the strength I needed to finish the fight, and with Cassie offering moral support, we defeated the rest of the armored skeletons. I sadly approached the remains of the straw golem. This is all my fault. I bet these guys were working for the Skeleking.
It's not your fault, Zozo. It's the bad guys who should be blamed.
You're right, Cassie. I need to focus on what matters, stopping the Skeleking from taking everyone's food. Speaking of food, I'm getting hungry again. I explored the golem's house for some food, but instead found a crafting table with items placed on top. Of course, it's the crafting recipe for TNT. I bet shooting TNT with my slingshot will work way better than shooting with gunpowder. From day 36 to day 39, I set off in search of something else to eat. Cassie and I split up so we could cover more ground. I also needed to keep looking for additional ways to defeat the Skeleking, but I was pretty sure I could do both at the same time. I couldn't help it. I was just a very hungry creeper. Cassie told me she heard there was food in the Badlands, so that was where I decided to go. But I didn't see any snacks anywhere, just rocks, sand, cacti, and other non-food plants. Aw man, nothing to eat here. As I was talking to myself, a coyote came up to me. He told me that he needed help finding aloe vera to treat his sunburns. He had spent too much time in the sun without applying sunscreen, and now he had sunburns all over his skin. Sure, I'll help you. Maybe if I found it quick enough, he'd give me a snack in return. No, I shouldn't think that. You shouldn't do good deeds just in case someone gives you a gift. You should do them just because it's good to be kind and help others. I spotted the aloe plant, but when I ran over to pick it up, someone jumped out from behind a rock.
I am the Desert Lord.
Dessert Lord? What kind of desserts do you have?
Not dessert, you fool! Desert! This is my domain, and everything in it belongs to me, including that aloe plant. Begone!
No can do, buddy. That aloe is required by someone else.
Then you must duel me for it.
Works for me. I ran toward the Desert Lord and fought him with my banana katana. The duel didn't take very long because my katana broke. What was I thinking? It's made from bananas. Of course the durability is non-existent. I used my axe instead, before he fell down and gave up. Then I grabbed the Zimbabwe aloe saplings and took them back to the coyote. He didn't have any snacks for me, but that was okay. It was still nice to help out. Before I left the Badlands, I made sure to stock up on some sand so I can craft more TNT when I get home. From day 40 to day 43, I returned to my base to check things out. This place is missing something. I know, we need some banners and some bookcases. I quickly got to work adding them. When I was done, I took a look at my new and improved base. Much better. That's when Goblo approached me.
Zozo, could I ask for a favor?
Sure thing, Goblo. What's up?
I'm pretty lonely here without any other goblins. Think I could invite some of my gob friends to stay with us for a while?
Sure, let me just make them some rooms. I added some extra rooms to the base so Goblo's buddies would have somewhere to stay. It was starting to look like a hotel. All done, go ahead and invite your friends. While Goblo and the Gobs settled in, I crafted as much TNT as I could. I have enough gunpowder for only 3? Come on, Stomach, you can do better than that. Start making more gunpowder. At least I could craft myself a diamond sword to replace the good old banana katana. My thoughts turned to food again, but my thoughts were interrupted by one of my latest guests, the Mungus, coming over to me with a quest.
Hey, Zozo, I have a quest for you.
Sure, what is it?
I need you to go to the underground mine for me. There is an Anubis there who has been terrorizing my family and keeping them from mining there.
I don't like bullies. You've got it, Mungus. I'll make sure he leaves your family alone. From day 44 to day 49, I traveled to the location of the underground mine to look for that Anubis who was giving Mungus so much trouble. I spotted a crane in the distance. This must be it. It was an entire mining site. I headed down into the mine and started to look around. I have to admit, I was also kind of hoping I'd find something to eat too, but the chests there were filled with rubbish. Mostly I was focused on my quest, but I'll never turn down a snack. I ventured deeper, but I didn't see Anubis anywhere. But what I did see was the Skeleking lurking in the mine.
Hey, you've gotten bigger since I last saw you. What did I tell you before, Zozo? No more free snacks. This is the end of that line, kid. You're toast, and you'll never eat toast again without paying me for it first.
You're terrible. You let your greed consume everything you do, and then you act like we're all greedy for wanting the smallest things. It's not fair.
Life isn't fair. You're either a winner or a loser. Get used to it. And speaking of losing, get ready to lose a fight with one of my best minions. Ha 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 ha!
He let out an evil laugh, then ran out of the mine, leaving a terrifying ghost miner behind. I had to be brave, even if I was scared. Whatever, I ain't afraid of no ghost. But when he rushed at me, I could tell he was really strong, and this wasn't going to be an easy fight. From day 50 to day 53, I worked hard to bust the ghost miner and get out of the underground mine alive. I was a little bit worried because I couldn't damage him. My punches went straight through him. And his pickaxe did loads of damage. But it dawned on me, I should blast him away with my TNT. I loaded up my slingshot and kaboom! The ghost was literally blown away. Haha! I managed to win after all! As I was looking around the mine after the fight, I saw a chest in the distance. I checked inside. A golden apple? Can I eat this? Only one way to find out. Turns out I could eat it, and not only was it tasty and gave me some nice buffs, but it gave me some secret knowledge. Suddenly, I knew something else about the Skeleking. So he's hiding all the food he takes in chests at his base. If only I knew where his base was, I could return all the food to the people that need it. That's great! Now I just have to find out where he's hiding and get big and strong enough to stand a chance in a fight with him too. From day 54 to day 57, I climbed deeper into the mine. I couldn't go back to my base until I found that Anubis. After all, I gave Mungus my word that I would complete his quest. Well, all of a sudden, it looked like I would still get the chance because a great big tough Anubis came bolting out at me. Ah, bad dog, bad dog! He knocked into me and it hurt, but I was still alive and I was still strong enough to fight back. I ran back at him and managed to defeat him, even though he was bigger and badder than me. Oh hey, he dropped something. Suspicious stew. Awesome! I didn't care how suspicious it was. I was starving. I slurped it up and felt myself grow bigger and stronger with 18 hearts now. With my quest complete, I headed back to the base to give Mungus the good news.
Thank you so much, Zozo. I have some good news of my own. I heard a rumor that the Skeleking's base is in the Weeping Witch Forest. When you feel strong and ready enough, you should be able to find him there.
From day 58 to day 62, I was thinking about food again. I wish I had some more eggs, then we could make all kinds of snacks here at the base. Wait a second, if we had some more chickens, we could have more eggs. I went out and found some chickens, then herded them back to the base and put them in the coop with the others. Make friends, little chickens. Then I decided to see if I could upgrade my gear. I went down into the mine and found some more diamonds. Perfect! I used the diamonds to craft a shiny new pair of diamond boots and pants. I feel tougher already. From day 63 to day 66, I tried to come up with a plan for what to do next. I wasn't ready to try and take on the Skeleking on his own turf. I needed to get stronger first. Then Goblo came to me with an idea.
Say, Zozo, are you still hungry?
I'm always hungry.
Well, I heard there's some yummy fish to be found in the bayou. Might be a good idea to check it out and see if you can find some.
That's a great idea. Thanks to Goblo's tip, I left my base and traveled to the bayou. I was wandering around when an ogre came stomping up to me. I was pretty nervous and got ready for a fight, but he gave me a friendly growl instead.
Hi, sorry to bother you, but I could use a little help. You see, there are a bunch of gnarly swamp spiders infesting my house and trying to bite me every time I go inside. Could you get rid of them for me?
Sure! After the kind of enemies I've fought lately, I can definitely squash a few spiders. From day 67 to day 70, I followed the ogre to his house, and sure enough, it was crawling with swamp spiders! Yikes! I get why you asked for help! These weren't any ordinary spiders. They were meaner and much more dangerous. But I'd already fought the Spider Queen, so I knew I could take them. It didn't take long before I defeated every single one of those spiders.
Thank you. I couldn't have done it without your help.
All done. Your house should be safe now.
Yeah, take this as a thank you.
He handed me some raw salmon. Hey, it's true. There really is fish here. I gobbled up the salmon, and it really hit the spot. Yes. We said our goodbyes, and the ogre went back to cleaning up and living in his house. From day 71 to day 74, I took a walk through the Black Forest on my way back to my base. As I was looking around, I found a note on the ground. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more adventures like this one, and be sure to search ZOZO to find more awesome videos. After looking at the note, I went back to hunting for something else to eat. I've heard people talk about Black Forest cake before. Maybe I can find some of that here if I'm lucky. But I didn't find any cake. All I found was the Skeleking lying in wait for me.
There's no more cake left in this forest, Zozo, but I'll give you a slice if you bring me some diamonds first.
Never!
Then perish.
He started throwing bone blocks at me. I tried to dodge them, but a few got me anyway. Ouch! That really hurt! He's still a lot stronger than me. I don't want to run away, but I'd better get out of here if I want to survive. So I ran out of there as fast as I could before he could do any more damage. Next time I see him, I'll make sure I'm ready! From day 75 to day 78, I ran all the way back to my base. Thankfully, the Skeleking wasn't able to follow me there. I need to do something to take my mind off of that disaster. I looked around and my eyes settled on the garden. Some flowers would make me feel better. So I planted some flowers in the garden and it really cheered me up. Look at all those beautiful flowers. As I was finishing up with the garden, one of the gobs that Goblo invited to the base came over. He thanked me for giving him and the others a place to stay and handed me a steaming hot bowl of mushroom stew as a thank you gift. Yum, this smells great! I quickly ate the stew and grew larger, gaining 4 more hearts. Wow, I feel so much stronger now. Thanks, Gob. That's a pretty powerful stew. From day 79 to day 84, I headed to the apple orchard to gather some fruit and look for some mobs I could test out my new strength on. I found plenty of both. There were a lot of apples, and there was also the Golden Devourer. They were hungry little guys trying to eat all the apples for themselves. Leave some for the rest of us. I taught them a lesson and beat them quickly. I really am stronger. A giant came up to me and told me he saw what I did. He'd been trying to clear those pests out of the apple orchard for days now, and now he and the other people living nearby could finally get some of the apples. I helped him pick some to take back home, and he gave me a piece of mutton in return. I ate the mutton and it tasted great and helped me grow even stronger. From day 85 to day 89, I took a leisurely walk back to my base. But when I got there, I was shocked at what I found. There was a big, nasty sectoid queen attacking my base and scaring all of my friends. Hey, you get out of here! But before I could attack, the sectoid queen scuttled off into the woods. Oh, no you don't! I ran after her, but I lost track of her. I saw a bull looking around and thought maybe he could help me. Have you seen a sectoid queen?
Yes! If I tell you where she went, will you help me get my cat out of that tree?
Sure. Here, kitty kitty. I don't know why, but the cat listened to me and climbed down out of the tree. I guess it could tell I just wanted to help.
Thank you! She went that way!
He pointed me in the right direction, and I headed off to track down the sectoid queen. From day 90 to day 94, I found the sectoid queen deep in the Sika woods. There you are. Why were you attacking my base?
Just following orders from the Skilla King. He sent me after a little mooch who's been hoarding snacks without paying for them. When I couldn't find you, I decided to tear apart your house to teach you a lesson.
You shouldn't have done that. Now, I'll teach you a lesson.
You can try.
I attacked with my sword, but it was a much harder fight than I expected. Uh-oh, she's really strong. This isn't gonna be easy. The queen seemed to back off and started digging a tunnel into the mountain. I was hurting, so I didn't follow her immediately. Instead, I gathered some berries to replenish my hunger and health before continuing the fight. From day 95 to day 97, I went into the tunnel which led to a dripstone cave where the queen was waiting. I charged her and kept on fighting the sectoid queen. She started spawning regular-sized ants around her. Sure, they were small, but they still bite. I was getting pretty tired, and I was worried I might not make it out of this one.
Might as well give up now. You'll never be a match for the Skilla King.
That taunt gave me the inspiration I needed to finish up the fight. That is it. No more playing around. Taste the power of TNT. I shot a TNT charge up into the dripstone, and it fell right on the sectoid queen. She was done for. Wow, that was a tough one. I saw that the sectoid queen had dropped a throwing axe, and I picked it up. Wow, this is a great weapon. It'll help me a lot. There was an inscription on the handle reading, "Property of the Skilla King." I guess this used to be his throwing axe. Well, he took a lot of things from people who need them, and then he was careless with his own weapon? Finders keepers, I guess. I'll use this to defeat him once and for all. Before I left, I made sure to mine up all the diamonds that were in this cave. This will be just enough diamonds to finish my diamond armor set. On day 98, I took my new throwing axe back home to my base, and to my surprise, my friends fixed up the house back to the way it was before. I started preparing for the final battle. First, I made the rest of my diamond armor. There, now I am well protected. Next, I crafted as much TNT as I could. Thank you, Stomach. This gunpowder will be used for good. Now I finally felt ready to take on the Skilla King and return the food to the hungry masses. But first, Cassie approached me.
Zozo, I'm glad I caught you. I brought you this pineapple to help you get your strength up before your battle.
I ate the pie and changed my form into a mutant creeper. Now I look really mighty. I gained even more hearts, up to 40 now. What was in that pineapple?
I don't know, but now you can definitely defeat the Skeleking.
Then came Goblo.
Yeah, thank you for saving my life, Zozo. You've done so much to help so many people, and I just know you'll be the one to free us from the Skeleking.
Thank you, that means a lot. Of course, the Mungus had something to say.
Zozo, I may just be a simple mungus from mushroom fields, but I think you're a really fun guy.
Thanks! And even the other gobs wanted to encourage me.
Since you liked it so much before, here's some more mushroom stew. Eat up before you leave.
I stored the stew for later, and I felt prepared to head out and take back what was rightfully ours. On day 99, I started on my trek to the Weeping Witch Forest, where the Skeleking's base was. At first, I wasn't sure where exactly his lair might be, but a bubble parasite pointed me in the right direction.
You can do it, Zozo.
Thanks, pal. When I arrived at the base, I saw an armored pillager guarding the entrance. How am I gonna get past him? For a second, I thought my plans were doomed, until the ogre came running out of the woods.
Let me handle him. You take on the Skeleking.
Ogre, you're here!
You didn't think I'd leave you without any backup, did ya? I can handle the zombie. You head on inside.
On day 100, I ran straight into the Skeleking's base. With no more minions to protect him, he would have to fight me himself, one-on-one. Come on out and face me. It's time for you to be the one who pays. He emerged from his lair at the sound of my taunts.
I'm not paying for a thing. You don't know what you're messing with, little creeper.
I'm not so little anymore.
No, I guess not. You've gotten strong on stolen snacks. Snacks you should have given me emeralds in exchange for.
You can't make people pay you for food. It belongs to everyone.
Enough talk. I've had enough of your chatter. I'll shut you up once and for all.
You know what? I'm still hungry, and there's only one thing that would hit the spot right now. Justice. And with that, I sprang into action and charged at the Skeleking, dealing him a powerful blow. But he was not taking any damage. He had some sort of purple magic protecting him. That's when I noticed purple crystals in the watchtowers. That must be what is protecting him. Just like when you fight the Ender Dragon, I needed to get closer to them. I managed to sprint into his house. I searched for a lever to deactivate the towers, but saw nothing, just his bed and his throne. He did have TNT on display. That is it. Who needs a lever? I can just shoot TNT at the crystals. I had no time to waste. The Skeleking came into the house and landed some good hits on me. I ran to the first tower and launched TNT right into the crystal. The Skeleking didn't seem to like that explosion. I ran to the next tower while Skeleking chased me. Soon the second tower was also down. Just one more. The Skeleking almost caught up to me, but he was too late. I successfully destroyed all the crystals and his magical protection had disappeared. He stepped back, injured.
No, you're weak. You're tiny. I own you. I own everyone. Everything.
Maybe you did own everything, but I'm here to take it all back. I threw my throwing axe as hard as I could, and it hit, knocking him out. And that was that. The Skeleking had been dethroned. Time to take all of this food and get it back to the people who need it. In that moment, I didn't feel hungry anymore, and I knew that as long as I had anything to say about it, no one in the world would ever go hungry again. On day 1, I spawned in as Spidey from Spidey and his amazing friends. I was surrounded by friendly spiders who were bigger than me. Wow, I'm really small. I must be a baby version of Spidey. But where are my friends? None of the spiders got a chance to tell me because the Green Goblin jumped out from behind a bush.
There you are! Thought you could hide from me with all these spiders? Well, you were wrong, Spidey. Tag, you're it! Ha ha ha!
He threw a pumpkin bomb, and I jumped out of the way just in time. But the other spiders were caught in the explosion. I was the only one who made it out okay. You're rotten, Green Goblin, rotten to the core. What are you doing here?
You're asking the wrong questions, Spidey. You're asking why I'm here, but you should be asking, why isn't Spin here?
Right, Spin, Miles Morales, my friend. Why isn't he here? What did you do with him? That's for me to know and you to find out. If you want to get him back, you'll need to come and find me and beat me in a fight. If you can't find my hideout in 100 days, I'll make sure you never see your little buddy again. He threw another pumpkin bomb and disappeared, leaving me alone with my thoughts. Oh no, that evil villain kidnapped Spin, and I only have 100 days to get him back. If I'm going to fight the Green Goblin and win, I need to get a whole lot stronger first. On day 2, I decided to get out of the plains and into a new location. With all of the spiders gone, I was completely on my own. And there's nothing for me to climb or swing from out here. I need some tall buildings or some trees. So I headed into the forest. I already had 10 hearts. I sure hope I don't run into any trouble out here. I must have jinxed myself because a group of gremlins came out from behind a bunch of trees and started closing in around me. Hey, why are you bothering me? I didn't do anything to you.
You didn't have to. We're here on orders from the Green Goblin. He wanted us to deliver something to you in person. A beatdown.
Uh-oh, I'm not strong enough to take on all of these enemies at once.
Let's get 'em, boys.
The gremlins were getting closer, and I couldn't see anywhere to run. Was this it? Was I already going to lose on my second day?
Hey, pick on someone your own size.
I looked towards the voice, and I saw Rabbit skiing towards the gremlins. He skied right into them, breaking through the circle, and I was able to run away before they could get to me. When I finally stopped running, I noticed the rabbit was right behind me. Thanks for the help.
No problem. I can't stand bullies. My name is Harry.
Hi, Harry. I'm Spidey, but you can call me Zozo. On day 3, Harry the skiing rabbit took me back to his home with him in the underground rabbit burrow. It was really nice of him, especially since I didn't have a base of my own yet. Now I have a safe place to rest for a little while where the Green Goblin wouldn't bother me. Thanks, Harry. This is so nice.
No problem, Zozo. Hey, there's someone I want you to meet. He knows a lot about the Green Goblin, and I think he can help you out.
He took me to the burrow of a Giza rabbit.
Hello! I understand you're going up against the Green Goblin. A nasty fellow.
Don't I know it?
Well, forgive me for saying so, but you won't get far like that. You need some tools, some weapons, and you need to get a whole lot stronger.
I know, but where should I start?
The forest to the north has lots of wood. Go gather some so you can start making tools. You'll need to be well equipped with the strongest tools you can find, as well as an open heart and an adventurous spirit. It takes a hero to defeat a villain, and if you really try, you can become the hero that takes down the Green Goblin once and for all.
That sounded like a whole lot of work, but as I thought about all the spiders the Green Goblin hurt and thought about Spin being held prisoner somewhere, I knew it was worth it. I guess I'd better get right to it then. First things first, I need to go gather that wood.
You'd better go with him, Harry. We all need a friend in tough times, and Zozo has quite the journey ahead of him.
Okay, let's go, Zozo.
On days 4 and 5, Harry and I went out into the northern forest to start gathering wood. There was no time to waste, so I started punching as many trees as I could. After I gathered enough wood, I built a crafting bench and crafted a set of wooden tools. Hooray! Now I can start gathering stone.
You're doing awesome so far.
Thanks, but I think this is the easy part. It'll only get harder from here.
I'll be here to help every step of the way. Every hero needs a sidekick, right?
That's true, but enough talking for now. I've got to get enough stone to upgrade my tools. I got to work, and once I had enough stone, I upgraded all of my tools from wooden ones to stone ones. Ready to help me build a base? We need a secret hideout if I'm gonna be a real superhero.
Yeah!
We started building the base and made sure to add a room for me and another room for Harry, so we both had somewhere to sleep. While we were building, a tarantula hawk flew up and started attacking me. What's the big idea? I couldn't let it get me, not when I was finally making progress, and I definitely wouldn't let it hurt Harry. The fight wasn't easy, but I won. And afterward, I felt myself getting stronger. Hey, I gained a heart.
You're one step closer to being a superhero.
Yeah! On days 6 through 8, I explored more of the forest. I wanted to see what other resources I could use to build my base, or if there was any useful item someone might have dropped. As I was getting ready to pick some apples from a tree, I heard someone yelling.
Help! Somebody, help!
Sounds like someone needs a hero. I ran toward the sound of the voice, and I saw a raccoon being attacked by a pack of wolves. Don't worry, I'll help you. I'm your friendly neighborhood Zozo. As soon as the wolves saw me coming, they left the raccoon alone and ran at me. They snapped their jaws, trying to bite me and scratch me with their claws. But I dodged their attacks, and I hit them back with my stone sword. Ha! You're no match for me. I'm getting pretty good at this fighting to defend the innocent thing. After a while, I tired them out, and the wolves ran off and left me and the raccoon alone.
Thank you so much. You saved my life.
No problem. I'm Zozo.
My name is May. I'm sorry to bother you, but you're such a strong fighter. Would you help me with something else?
Helping is what I do.
I'm so glad. And please, come with me to the swamp. There's a nasty bad guy there I need help with.
Lead the way. On days 9 and 10, May led me to the swamp to help deal with her problem. So, what's the deal with this swamp?
I was staying here when this big, mean ogre came in and started stomping around and telling me to get out. He broke my house apart and told me that this was his swamp now and I needed to get out. But all of my things are still here and I don't want to just abandon them.
Oh geez, that does sound like a lot of trouble. I'll do whatever I can to help.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad I found you.
What are you doing in my swamp?
The ogre jumped out, roaring and running right at us. He was much bigger than me, but I couldn't back down. I drew my sword and got ready to fight him. This isn't your swamp. You can't just kick people out.
I can do whatever I want. I'm the biggest, baddest ogre in the swamp, which means it all belongs to me.
You can't take things from people just because you're bigger and stronger.
Who's gonna stop me?
Me! I ran at him with my sword, but he grabbed me and lifted me into the air. Then he threw me. I landed hard and got the wind knocked out of me. Uh-oh, he might be too strong. He was getting ready to grab me again, and I swiped at him with my sword. He knocked the sword out of my hand, and it went flying. I had to run and grab it, and I knew if I tried to fight this ogre right now, I would lose. Let's get out of here, May. We'll go back to my base, and when I'm strong enough, I'll come back. I promise.
Okay, thank you for trying.
I didn't want to run away, but I can't save the day if I let myself get beaten by an ogre. So even though it wasn't fun to leave the fight, it was better that May and I were safe. On days 11 and 12, I brought May back to my base. I built her a room of her own with a chest and a crafting bench.
Thank you so much, both of you.
Of course. Stay as long as you like.
We're happy to have you. I was meaning to ask, do you know anything about the Green Goblin?
That monster? I sure do.
He kidnapped a friend of mine, and I'm trying to learn more about him.
I'm pretty sure he lives underground somewhere. I don't know exactly where, but I've heard a lot of rumors about his underground cave hideout. If you can find out where he is, and you're strong enough to fight him, you might be able to use the element of surprise to help you defeat him.
Underground, huh? That's really helpful. Thank you, May.
Of course. The Green Goblin is terrible, and I'd be happy to see someone finally take him down.
After I talked with May, I decided to add some food sources to my base. I know, I think I saw some chickens in the woods. Yes. So I built a fence to contain the chickens, then I went out looking for them. There you are. Come with me, chickens. I'll show you your new home. I herded the chickens back to the base and got them all set up in the fenced area. Then I cut down some grass and planted some wheat at the base. Now we'll have plenty of food, and I learned more about the Green Goblin. What a successful day! On days 13 to 15, I decided to find some ways to get stronger, so I turned to Harry for advice.
I think the best way to get stronger is to get some more experience. Explore new areas, go on some quests, fight more enemies. You can't learn if you don't put yourself out there, and upgrading your tools probably won't hurt either.
That's a great idea, thank you! If I was going to upgrade my tools, I needed to get mining. I mined some coal and some iron too. I raced back to my base to make a furnace. Then I smelted the iron and used it to craft all iron tools. Great! Now time to explore. Where can I go? I should go somewhere really different from anywhere I've been so far. I know, I'll go to the ice spikes. So I gathered all of my new tools and headed off to the ice spikes. Brr, it's getting cold. I'm not used to this weather. Maybe I should have brought some more supplies with me.
Maybe you should have, but you didn't, because you're weak, and you'll never beat the Green Goblin.
Who said that? I looked up and saw a green golem standing on top of a tall ice spike.
I did. The boss sent me to check on your progress, and he's gonna laugh so hard when he hears about all this. But first, I think I'll teach you a lesson about trying to be a hero when you're really just a zero.
Then he jumped down from the ice bike and landed right in front of me. But I was ready for him, and I had my brand new iron sword ready to go. Not so fast. He ran at me, and I swung my sword. He tried to hit me, but I dodged and attacked again. It was a pretty tough fight, but I managed to win in the end. After I defeated him, I noticed he dropped something. Cool, an explosive bottle. I can use this to fight the Green Goblin. I was so excited to show my friends what I found that I ran all the way back to my base. Harry was waiting for me.
You should build an armory to keep your weapons.
Great idea! So I built an armory, and after I did, I felt myself getting stronger. Whoa, I gained 2 hearts. On days 16 to 19, I decided to follow Harry's advice and keep exploring to get more experience. Maybe I'll find something else that will help me beat the Green Goblin, or make a new friend. As I was looking around, I found an abandoned house. Anyone here? No one answered, so I let myself inside to have a look around. It was totally empty, except for a chest. I opened the chest and found an old book. I guess I'll read it. Superheroes should always take the time to read every now and again. As I read the book, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Whoa, so the Green Goblin is really Norman Osborn, the scientist. That's why he's so good at making those pumpkin bombs. I can't believe it. But it's in a book, so it must be true. Maybe this information will help me later. I grabbed the book to take with me and left the house to head back to my base. As I did, I saw the gremlins from before. Not you guys again.
You better believe it, Spidey.
The gremlins rushed at me, and I fought them off with my sword. When they realized they were outmatched, they started to run away.
This ain't the last you'll see of us, or the Green Goblin.
Tell your boss I'm getting stronger every day, and I'm coming to get my friend. I couldn't believe it. I beat the gremlins on my own this time. I was really starting to feel like a superhero who could defeat the villain and save the day. I wasn't quite ready yet, but I had already come so far. On days 20 to 22, I looked for some more bad guys to fight in the forest around my base. I wanted to get stronger and keep my friends safe at the same time. A mutant spider pig attacked May while she was looking for food, and I rushed in to save the day. Get away from her! I swung my sword and defeated the mutant spider pig easily. I was so much stronger than I was on my first day. I think I'm finally ready to take on the ogre and get your stuff back.
Are you sure? He's so scary.
I am. I just need to make some armor first. I gathered some more iron and crafted myself some shiny new iron armor. With this on, he won't be able to hurt me. I made my journey back to the swamp where the mean old ogre was waiting for me.
Back for more, are ya? I'll be happy to beat you again if you didn't learn your lesson the first time.
He grabbed me just like he did before, but when he threw me, my armor protected me from getting hurt. Nice try, but I'm ready for you this time. He was so surprised that he didn't have time to dodge my attack. I got him with my sword, then I hit him again. This time, he was the one who got knocked over.
Oh, fine, take what you came for. Just leave before the Green Goblin finds out you're here. He's scared of how strong you're getting, and he's not afraid to cheat and have someone else take you out before you find his hideout.
Whoa, so he's actually getting nervous.
Don't get too confident. You're still nowhere near tough enough to beat him. Just go.
So I grabbed a chest full of May's things, and I headed back to my base. On days 23 to 26, I returned to my base and went to find May. Here you go. I got this back for you.
Oh, thank you so much. It has everything I own inside. I was so scared that I lost it all after that ogre destroyed my house. Can I stay here for a little while, though, before I find a new place to live?
Stay as long as you like.
Have you ever thought about building a guard tower to keep the base safe in case the Green Goblin sends any goons this way?
That's a great idea. I got to work building a guard tower, and when I was finished, I felt much safer. But I needed some ranged weapons to go with the guard tower, so I gathered flint, feathers, and string, and crafted a bow and arrows. Then May came over to talk to me, and she was holding something.
I found this in my chest of items, and I wanted to give it to you. My way of saying thanks for all of your help.
What is it?
A newspaper. It's enchanted. I think it might be useful for you.
Whoa, thank you so much. With my enchanted newspaper, my new guard tower, and my bow and arrow, I was feeling more prepared than ever. On days 27 to 31, I decided to get back to exploring and looking for new ways to get stronger. I hiked out to the Badlands to see what I could find. While I was exploring, I saw some tarantulas stuck in a hole. I'll get you guys out of there, just hold on. I helped them all climb out, and then I sent them back to my base so they would have a safe place to stay for a while. Spiders have to stick together. After I helped the tarantulas, I looked around the Badlands some more. There weren't any enemies to fight, but there was a lot of terracotta. This looks cool. I'll gather some for my base. I got as much terracotta as I could take with me and went back to my base to decorate with it. I worked hard on creating a beautiful terracotta floor in my room, and when it was finished, I kicked back and ate a snack. But I couldn't rest for very long.
Zozo, I need your help.
I sprung into action. What's wrong?
There's trouble in the rabbit burrow. We have to go help them.
Let's go! On days 32 to 35, Harry and I went back to the underground rabbit burrow to check things out and help save the rabbits there. When we got there, we saw a bunch of the Green Goblin's gremlins attacking and throwing pumpkin bombs. They were destroying everything! Not so fast! Don't worry, rabbits. Your friendly neighborhood Spidey Zozo is here to help.
What are you gonna do about it?
I drew my sword. Remember this? They looked pretty nervous, and I started slashing left and right, taking down as many gremlins as I could. I thought I'd beaten all of them, but there was one more hiding behind a nearby wall. Before I could get to him, he pulled out another pumpkin bomb and threw it right at the Giza rabbit who helped me before. No! But it was too late. The gremlin blew him up. You'll pay for this! I took down the last gremlin fast, but I didn't feel any better. I was so upset about the Giza rabbit.
It's not your fault. It's the Green Goblin. He did this.
You're right, Harry, and we're gonna make sure he never hurts anyone else again. On days 36 to 39, I decided to head to the beach and see if I could find anything useful there. I needed all the strength and weapons I could get if I was going to beat the Green Goblin before he could strike again.
Are there any heroes out here? Please, I need help.
A hero? That's me. Who said that? I can help.
Me.
I looked over and I saw a walrus sitting on the sand. What's wrong?
Out there in the water is my favorite rock to sit on when I want to catch a few rays. But when I try to sit there now, there's a mean octopus who keeps attacking me and trying to pull me into the water.
That's not very nice. You wait here, friend. I'll go teach that octopus some manners.
Be careful, he's very smart.
It's okay. I'm pretty smart too. I swam out to the walrus's favorite rock and waited for the octopus to try and mess with me. Wow, what a nice rock. I sure hope no one tries to pull me into the water. But I did hope someone would try, and I was ready. I didn't think I could fight in the water while trying to swim at the same time, so I would have to be able to fight from a distance. Good thing I crafted a ranged weapon. I grabbed my bow and arrow and waited. Sure enough, that pesky octopus showed up and tried to grab me. Before he could, I fired my arrow at him, a direct hit. He tried to grab me again, so I fired a few more arrows for good measure until I was sure I had won. Then I swam back to the shore to give the walrus the good news.
Thank you so much. Are you the hero that's trying to take on the Green Goblin?
I sure am.
Well, here's some advice. I heard he's strong, but not very fast. That's why he throws those pumpkin bombs. If you can avoid his bombs, it'll be easier to get him.
Thanks so much. I'll remember that. On days 40 to 43, I returned home to my base. It was looking a little bit dull, so I decided to spruce up the place with some torches for extra light and to keep any zombies away. As I was finishing up, Harry came to see me.
Say, this looks great.
Thanks.
Do you think we could make room for some more guests to stay here? I met some squirrels in the woods who said the Green Goblin blew up the tree they were living in. I thought maybe we could help them out.
Sure, the more the merrier. Hey, let's build them a treehouse, then they'll feel right at home. Harry and I got to work, and before long, we built a great treehouse for the squirrels to live in. Then Harry went to get the squirrels and show them their new home. It felt good to help more people in need. It was a nice reminder that being a hero isn't just about beating bad guys, it's about helping those who need it. The tarantulas came to see me after I finished the treehouse, and then they told me that they heard a rumor about some baby spiders that were being held prisoner in a nearby cave. Well, I couldn't let that happen. I promised them I would go over there and rescue those baby spiders. On days 44 to 49, I traveled to the cave the tarantulas told me about to save those poor kidnapped baby spiders. When I got there, I couldn't see any baby spiders anywhere. I looked all over the place, but there weren't any spiders in that cave. Huh, that's weird.
You fell for my trap, Spidey. Ha 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 ha!
The Green Goblin jumped out from behind a rock.
There aren't any baby spiders here. It was a lie. But I knew that would get you to come here. Poor little hero with no one to save. Too bad, so sad.
You're scum, Green Goblin.
Oh, you wound me. You're running out of time, Spidey. Too bad you won't be able to save your buddy Spin before I blow him up. And when I'm done, I'll go to your base in the forest and blow that up too. That's right, I know where you've been hiding.
Why are you doing this?
Because I can. Wish I could stay and chat, but I've gotta run. I'll leave you with some company though. Oh, Minion!
A huge earth elemental came into the cave.
Bye, Spidey.
The Green Goblin ran away and disappeared, leaving me alone with the earth elemental. He looked pretty tough. Uh-oh. I had no choice. If I wanted to get out of there and get back to my base, I was gonna have to fight him. On days 50 to 53, I did my best to fight the Earth Elemental. He was a lot bigger than me, but I wasn't about to back down or let myself get scared. I stared him down and got ready. The Earth Elemental ran at me and knocked me back into the cave wall. But luckily, I had my armor on and it didn't take too much damage. I jumped back onto my feet and ran at the Earth Elemental with my sword. I got a few good hits in before he knocked me back again. Next, I climbed up onto a rock and shot an arrow at him. It hit, and while he was recovering, I jumped back down and rushed up to deliver a finishing blow. He went down, and I was the winner! Woohoo! I did it! I really am turning into a superhero. Wait, what's this? There was a book on the ground. I picked it up and started to read. The Notes of Norman Osborn. I hate spiders so much. One day I'll find a way to get rid of every spider in the world, and then I can finally be happy once they're gone. I'm so glad I found this underground cavern to build my laboratory and basin. It's the perfect place to do my work. So the Green Goblin hates spiders. That's why he's after me and why he took Spin. That's despicable. So his lair is in an underground cavern. There's a drawing of a map here showing where it is. I'm one step closer to defeating him once and for all. On days 54 to 57, I returned to the forest and started making my way back to the base. I've got to tell my friends what I've learned. But as I was walking, I heard someone crying for help. I followed the sound, and there was some baby spiders in a cage. Oh no, there really are some baby spiders in trouble. Hold on, little guys, I'll save you. I ran to let them out of the cage, but I couldn't find a key. Then a phantom swooped down on me. I was ready though, and I slashed at it with my sword until it went down. I saw that the phantom dropped the key, and also a blast protection enchantment. Awesome! This'll help keep me safe from the pumpkin bombs. I took the key and let the baby spiders out of the cage. Be free! Then I went back to my base to let the tarantulas know that I managed to help out the baby spiders. Then I told them all about what I found out about the Green Goblin and his lair. I showed them the map, and they recognized where the caverns were. They promised to help me find the caverns when I was ready to finally have my showdown against the villain. On days 58 to 62, I decided to plant some more crops so that we could have more food at the base. I went into the forest and gathered melons, then planted a bunch of melon seeds next to my wheat. Next, I decided it was finally time to upgrade my gear again. I went back down into the mine where I found my iron and started looking for some diamonds. It took a while and a lot of hard work, but finally I found some. Sweet! Time to craft some diamond gear. I was able to use the new materials to craft a diamond sword. After that was done, I expanded the base and added some more rooms, including a bedroom for Spin. After all, he's gonna need somewhere to stay when I finally rescue him. On days 63 to 66, the squirrels came up to talk to me. They told me that I might be able to find some useful materials at the stone shores. So naturally, I decided to head out there and see what I could find. When I arrived there, I couldn't see much of anything that would help me beat the Green Goblin. I was starting to feel discouraged. Then, I saw a stone monster coming toward me. Oh no, I guess I have to fight this guy now. But to my surprise, he didn't want to fight. He just wanted my help getting rid of a mean mutant creeper that took over the cove and killed his uncle. Ben. I'm so sorry that happened. Of course I'll help. I asked him to show me where he last saw the mutant creeper, and he pointed me in the right direction. A hero's work is never done. I guess with great power comes great responsibility, but I'm ready for it anyway. On day 67 to 70, I traveled to the part of the cove that the mutant creeper had taken over. I could get more fighting experience and help someone at the same time. Just another day of being a superhero. Come on out, you mean mutant creeper. I'm here to dispense some justice. As soon as it heard me, the mutant creeper came out of hiding and rushed at me to attack. It came at me and started hitting me, but I countered with my sword and my armor protected me from the damage. I knew I had to defeat it before it had a chance to charge up or explode, so I had to work fast, faster than I ever had before in a fight. It was hard, but I managed to take down the mutant creeper before it could blow up. Whew, that was a close one. Then I went back to the stone monster. That mutant creeper won't be bothering you ever again. All in a day's work for an up-and-coming superhero. On day 71 to 74, I traveled to the desert to gather some sandstone. As I was walking, I noticed an unusual rock formation. It spelled out, if you're enjoying this adventure, find more Zozo videos by searching for Zozo, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Wow, nature really is amazing. Now back to what I was doing.
Having a nice little desert stroll, eh, Spidey?
The green goblin suddenly appeared. I wasn't expecting to fight you so soon, but I guess there's no time like the present.
Watching you lose will be a gift.
I drew my sword and got ready to fight. The green goblin tossed a pumpkin bomb at me, and I had to dodge, but I got caught in the blast. Ouch! I lost a few hearts. I hate to admit it, but I'm still not strong enough. I need to get out of here. So that I would live to fight another day, I ran away as fast as I could before he could attack again. That was a close one. On day 75 to 78, I ran back to my base with some of the stone I managed to gather before the green goblin attacked me. I built a stone wall around the whole base. Awesome, this is looking great. At least something good came out of my trip to the desert. When I finished building the wall, Harry the rabbit came up to me.
Zozo, I found something, and I wanted to give it to you as a present. Thanks for everything you've done for me. You're a great friend and a real hero. Here you go. It's a cobweb.
Whoa, thanks! I took the cobweb, and it reminded me of my Spidey strength and everything I had accomplished so far. I felt myself growing bigger, and I gained 3 more hearts. On days 79 to 84, I decided to try out my new strength and bigger size by fighting some bad guys. If I wanted to push myself, a good way to do that would be to fight in the cold. So I went out to the snowy tundra to look for some mobs I could fight to keep everyone a little bit safer. I didn't have to look for very long before I found some gremlins bullying a snowy goat. Hey, stop that!
Who's gonna stop us?
Me!
Oh yeah, we're so scared.
They didn't know how much stronger I was, so they weren't ready for how much better I was at fighting. It didn't take long before I beat them. I asked the snowy goat if he wanted to come back to my base and stay there for a while.
No thanks, I'm good. Could you walk me home though? It's just near here.
Sure. So I walked with the snowy goat until we reached his house.
You seem like a nice kid. Here, take this. Maybe it'll be of some use to you.
Then he gave me a vine lasso. This is great, thanks. Now I can attack the green goblin from a distance. Saving people is its own reward, but it's also pretty nice to get a gift every now and then. On days 85 to 89, I went back to my base. When I got there, I saw there were gremlins attacking.
Let's burn this place down before Spidey gets back.
Too late, I'm already here.
Uh-oh.
The gremlins ran away, but I chased after them. Hey, I've gotten faster. Before too long, I had almost caught up to them, but I was stopped by the Ragnarok.
Please help. Those nasty gremlins stole my falconry hood. I need it for my favorite eagle.
Don't worry, I'll get it back for you. Using my newly increased speed, I chased after the gremlins and caught up to them. Once I did, I beat them quickly and grabbed the falconry hood to take back to the Ragnarok. Here you go.
Thank you so much.
It's what I do. On days 90 to 94, I followed the gremlin footprints into the deep forest. This must be where they were hiding out before they attacked my base.
Oh look, it's Spidey. Come to lose another fight.
There was a gremlin chef waiting for me. Do I know you?
Oh, but you should. I'm the Green Goblin's top henchman.
the guy who handles all of his biggest problems. And you're a pretty big problem, a bug that needs to be squashed.
He looked pretty tough, but I wasn't about to back down from this fight. I had to prove that I could take on the Green Goblin, so I needed to beat his right-hand man first. Let's do this! On days 95 to 97, I fought as hard as I could against the Gremlin Chef. At first, it was not going very well. He was dodging all of my attacks, one after another. Man, this guy's tough.
Might as well give up now, Spidey. You'll never beat me, and you'll never beat the Green Goblin.
But I thought about Spin and everyone else who the Green Goblin was putting in danger, and I knew I couldn't give up. I grabbed the vine lasso and threw it at the Gremlin Chef. It caught him! I was able to get him still enough to land a hit, and then the fight started to turn around. Finally, I knocked him down for good! As I was getting ready to leave, I noticed that he dropped something on the ground. Cave centipede leggings! I decided to put them on and see what they would do. I went back to my base and realized I could now climb up walls. This is perfect! I'll be able to use this to avoid the Green Goblin's pumpkin bombs and be faster than him. This is just what I needed. On day 98, I was back at my base and practicing climbing walls with my new cave centipede leggings. When I stopped to take a break, Harry came up to talk to me.
I just wanted to say, you've turned into an amazing hero, Zozo. I'm so glad I met you. If anyone can beat the Green Goblin, it's you.
Thank you. Next, May came up to see me. She brought me some diamond armor.
I spent the last few days making this for you. I hope you can use it when you take on the Green Goblin.
This is amazing! Thank you so much! Then the squirrels and the tarantulas thanked me for everything I had done for them. The tarantulas said that even though I wasn't a real spider, they considered me one of their own anyway. It really meant a lot to me. I was feeling braver and stronger than ever, with all of my friends by my side. On day 99, I asked the tarantulas to give me directions to the Green Goblin's underground lair. They told me where to go, and I headed out. It was now or never. As I was making my way toward the caverns, a cockroach scuttled past me.
You can do it!
Thanks, cockroach. I wasn't sure how she knew what I was doing, but I appreciated the encouragement anyway. Finally, I reached the Green Goblin's cavern lair, but the outside was crawling with green golems standing guard. Oh no, how am I gonna get inside?
I'll help you.
It was the walrus I saved from the octopus.
I'll take care of these guys. You get inside and get to the Green Goblin.
On day 100, it was finally time for me to face off against the biggest, baddest villain around, the Green Goblin. I was pretty scared, but I also knew how far I'd come and how many people believed in me.
So, you made it! Such a shame you came all this way just to die.
He threw a pumpkin bomb at me, but I dodged it and climbed up a nearby wall. I learned some new tricks, Goblin.
They won't be enough to beat me.
We'll see about that. From my place on the wall, I shot an arrow at him. He dodged it, but I jumped down and swung at him with my sword, and it hit him. Then I ran back up the wall and got ready to attack from a distance again.
I wouldn't shoot any more arrows at me if I were you. Look what I have.
And he had Spin there with him, tied up. I had to get Spin out of the way so he wouldn't get hurt when I attacked the Green Goblin. I thought quickly and used my vine lasso to pull Spin toward me and out of the way, just as the Green Goblin threw another pumpkin bomb. Then I remembered, I had the explosive bottle. I could beat the Green Goblin at his own game. Let's get out of here, Spin.
Running away, are you?
Nope, just getting far enough to do this. I threw the explosive bottle at the Green Goblin. Then I got out of there as fast as I could. Boom! The cavern exploded, and I knew the Green Goblin was gone once and for all. I finally had my friend back, and the land was saved. All thanks to your friendly neighborhood Zozo. On day 1, I spawned into the Baobab Savannah as the mighty electric tiger. Well, at least a baby version of an electric tiger. But if I work hard and train, I can live fully up to my electric tiger potential.
Oh no you won't.
I looked in front of me and saw a massive, hulking squall golem thundering towards me. He was so much bigger than me, the size difference was terrifying. Listen, mister, I don't want any trouble. I'm Zozo. What's your name?
My name's Mike, and I'm here to fight.
But why? That doesn't even rhyme.
Yes, it does. If I say it rhymes, it rhymes. I'm the strongest creature in the world. Nothing challenges me anymore, and the only way to relieve the boredom is getting into fights with anyone I can.
But
No buts, weakling, or I'll kick yours. Here's the deal. I'm gonna give you 100 days. You better use them well, kid, and get as strong as possible. Strong enough to have an interesting fight with me. 'Cause if you don't, I'm gonna find you and pound you until you're nothing more than a little electric tiger stain in the floor. Now run.
Mike the Squall Golem didn't have to tell me twice. I turned and ran away as quickly as possible, while Mike just laughed at me. He seemed like my most formidable opponent yet. 100 days. I need to get real strong in that time, or Mike really is gonna destroy me. On day 2, I continued running through the Baobab Savannah, not stopping until I was confident that Mike the Squall Golem was nowhere to be seen. Phew, that was a close one. If he'd attacked me in that state, I would have been a goner. I only have 10 hearts. I wonder if I have any special abilities. Without even realizing I could, I released a blast of electrical energy from my paw. The electricity is eliminated from me and charges up the air around me. That must have been one of my basic electric tiger abilities. Whoa, maybe I'm not as helpless as I thought. Wait, do I see a pear tree there? I should grab one. I grabbed a few pears and ate them. Even if my hunger was full, I just couldn't resist it. Things were looking up already. At least I wasn't gonna be hungry. But my contentment didn't last for long. A scary plant-like whisperer rustled its way towards me. It wasn't as big as Mike, but it was definitely freaky. Oh no, I have a feeling I know who you work for.
You feel correctly, Zozo. You really think you can beat Mike? He's the GOAT.
Goat? He's a squall golem.
No, GOAT is an acronym. He is the greatest of all time. GOAT. And that's why you've got no hope against him.
Then why even bother coming after me? I didn't even want to fight.
I'm gonna destroy you myself to save Mike his time.
As the whisperer approached me, I fired my energy blast, but it didn't even slow him down. All I could do was run away, knowing that even with my energy blast, I had no hope of fighting him. I was hiding behind a small clutch of trees when suddenly a wind caller teleported in front of me.
Come with me if you want to live.
Sure, let's go. I'll follow you.
Wow, people normally have questions. Let's go.
The wind caller ran off, and I followed him without question, happy to finally have someone on my side. On day 3, I continued following the wind caller deeper into the Baobab Savannah. He seemed to have confidence and power. It definitely made me feel safer around him.
I've been waiting for you to arrive, Zozo. You have no idea how many people have anticipated this special day.
Special? This doesn't feel that special, aside from you saving my life from all the weird creeps who have been trying to attack me.
Those weird creeps, as you aptly put it, have been bothering people for quite some time. But if you stick with me and my allies, we might be able to change that together.
The wind caller led me to a small shack, leaving me to talk to its inhabitant, a mysterious figure called the Illusioner.
So, you are the only wind caller selected, You don't appear all that strong, but perhaps that will change.
I still don't understand what's happening here. Who are all of you people? And what does any of this have to do with me or that nasty squall golem Mike?
Windcaller and I are just 2 members of a secret group called the Order of the Shield. For years, we have made it our purpose to find and train a champion capable of destroying Mike and ending his reign of terror. If you accept this responsibility, we will do all we can to help you realize your destiny.
Well, seeing as Mike is gonna come after me anyway, I agree to working with you.
Good. Go with Windcaller. There is no time to waste. You must get strong enough to defeat Mike once and for all.
From day 4 to day 5, the wind caller and I went deeper into the Baobab Savannah. We didn't stop until we found an area that was big and flat enough to start constructing a base. First, I knocked down a tree and used its resources to construct a wooden pickaxe. I then mined into the ground and collected enough stone to create my first set of real tools, a stone pickaxe and a stone sword. From there, I gathered more stone and granite and made a basic base with a bed for myself and another one for the wind caller to stay in with me.
You've done great work here, Zozo. You show promise. With time, you will become a great warrior, capable of taking on Mike and showing him what we are all capable of.
I want to get stronger, wind caller, but I'm not sure where to start. How can I become more powerful?
I can help you with that, Zozo. I'll give you a portion of my power, and that will give you a foundation to build on. Stay still, please.
The wind caller fired an energy blast at me. The second it hit me, I started growing, becoming bigger, and had the ability to summon lightning strikes. I tried it out on some grass, and it was fantastic. Wow, I'm really starting to live up to my electric tiger name now. From day 6 to day 8, I decided to explore a new part of the savannah and test out my new powers for real. Energy blasts and lightning strikes. I'm a force to be reckoned with. And those powers would soon come in handy because I saw an innocent fungus thrower being attacked by that nasty whisperer who had attacked me earlier. I'm not gonna let this stand. As I ran in, the whisperer's attention was turned to me and the fungus thrower was able to escape. It was just me and my old enemy now. Hey, you ugly plant.
You again? I didn't expect to see you after you ran off like a coward last time.
I'm no coward whisperer, and I'm about to prove it.
Talk is cheap, tiger boy. Let's go.
I unleashed a powerful lightning strike on the whisperer, and this time it was completely destroyed. My electric tiger powers were coming in clutch already. Yo, fungus thrower, it's safe to come out now. I'm friendly, I promise. When I found him on the beach, the poor lad was shivering from fear.
Dude, that was scary, but also amazing. I thought I was a goner, and then you came in like a superhero, like bam, zow, kapow. It was awesome.
Well, I don't like to brag, but I guess it was pretty awesome.
You're real good at this whole fighting bad guys thing, dude. Tell you what, I know there's a real nasty bad guy not far from here. Follow me, let's see if you can beat him.
Sure, it couldn't hurt to try. Let's go. From day 9 to day 10, I followed the fungus thrower into the bamboo jungle until we reached a clearing. There, a freaky frozen zombie was waiting. Yikes, that thing seems unpleasant, but a promise is a promise. I ran in and unleashed a lightning strike against the frozen zombie, but it didn't seem to do anything other than annoy this particularly frosty member of the living dead. The frozen zombie chased me, and all I could do was run away as fast as I could. When I'd managed to lose the frozen zombie, I rendezvoused with the fungus thrower again. I'm really sorry for letting you down on this one, man, but I just don't think I'm strong enough to take down that frozen zombie yet.
It's chill, dude. You did your best, and that's what matters.
Tell you what, why don't you come and stay at my base while I get stronger? You seem like a cool guy. I'd love to hang out with you some more.
Oh, you're too sweet, man. Let's do it.
From day 11 to day 12, I returned to my base with the fungus thrower. It was exciting to have another friend added to my team. Fungus thrower left to relax while I built a new room for him, along with the rooms for me and the wind caller. What do you think, buddy?
This looks awesome, Zozo! I can't wait to hang out here! And hey, I got a little restless while you were building the bedroom, so I built a couple of upgrades of my own. Go take a look!
The upgrades that the fungus thrower had created were truly awesome. He'd made a beautiful path connecting all the buildings and a storage room for the base, with a furnace that I could use to smelt and forge metal. Say, that gives me an idea. I searched until I found a cave that might contain some valuable materials, and sure enough, right at the entrance, I found a rich vein of iron ore. I mined and collected a bunch of it before going back to my base. Once I was there, I used my furnace to smelt the ore into ingots. Then I made a full set of iron tools. I still had a little left over, so I used that to make an iron helmet and a chest plate. This looks awesome! So I've got shelter and weaponry covered. Now, I need to make sure my food sources are sustainable too. I built a small chicken farm on my base and herded a few chickens inside, so I'd never run out of eggs or yummy chicken. From day 13 to day 15, I spoke to my mentor, the wind caller, and asked him if he knew any other ways I could train and get stronger.
A very good question, Zozo. To become a better fighter, you need to fight and hone your battle tactics. I've heard reports of another one of those sinister whisperers wandering around the bamboo jungle. Go out there and defeat it to grow your strength.
Because everything Windcaller had said so far hadn't led me astray, I followed his advice and went out to the bamboo jungle again. I searched until I found the whisperer that Windcaller had told me about.
I will destroy you in the name of Mike.
Not if I destroy you first, Whisperer. With my new iron sword, it wasn't hard to battle the Whisperer into submission. When the Whisperer was destroyed, it dropped a potion of strength onto the ground. Perfect timing. I was starting to feel super thirsty. I picked up the potion of strength and drank it, and I felt the change immediately. I started to get bigger, stronger, and my hearts grew to 30. The Windcaller was right. Fighting that Whisperer did make me stronger. From day 16 to day 19, I continued exploring the overworld until I came upon the Cypress Swamplands. It was a strange, mystical place, and the more I wandered around, the more I got the sense that something important was waiting for me here. And that feeling proved to be right when I came upon an ancient book of secrets laying around. I decided that it might be worth reading, so I flipped through until I found a section called How to Defeat Squall Golems. Wow, that's appropriate. A section read, the stony flesh of a squall golem may seem impenetrable. Even diamond swords and the strongest of arrows just seem to bounce off. But if one could obtain a sword of netherite, then the playing field would be evened. A netherite sword? I need to get my hands on one of those then. My moment of victory was interrupted by a pair of whisperers suddenly appearing and wandering towards me. They must have come here to stop me from reading this book of secrets. You overgrown weeds can't scare me. With my lightning strikes and energy blasts, the three whisperers were destroyed for good. From day 20 to day 22, knowing that I needed a netherite sword to truly defeat Mike the Squall Golem, I went back to the mining cave looking for more material. Sadly, I couldn't find any diamonds or netherite down there, just more iron ore. I mined a bunch of it and went back to my base where I smelted it into ingots and made myself the rest of my iron armor. If you can't invest in your attacks, you might as well invest in your defense. My recent increase in strength reminded me of an old unsettled score. I needed to defeat the frozen zombie for my friend the fungus thrower. Time to send that zombie to its eternal resting place. I returned to the bamboo jungle and hunted down the frozen zombie that had given me trouble all those days ago. With my iron sword, I was able to defeat the nasty undead once and for all. It probably won't be long before I'm strong enough to take on Mike and win.
I wouldn't be so sure, weakling.
I turned and saw Mike himself was standing right behind me. I wanted to run, but this time I stood my ground. I'm not scared of you anymore, Mike. I know the secret. I just need to get my hands on a netherite sword. I'm a champion of the Order of the Shield. What's so funny?
You think you're the first champion? You think you're the only one who knows about netherite swords? I've destroyed 100 foolish champions like you, and you'll make it 101.
Mike punched me, taking off a frightening number of hearts. All I could do was run for my life. I was clearly still not strong enough to face him yet. From day 23 to day 26, I went back to my base and informed the fungus thrower that I defeated the frozen zombie of the bamboo forest.
Way to go, Zozo! You've no doubt achieved a whole new level of strength from that battle.
And I plan to get even stronger now that I was able to fulfill my promise to you.
Oh yeah, buddy! I know you can!
I knew that I needed stronger materials in my inventory if I really wanted to work my way up to that netherite sword, so I went digging for more iron in my mining cave. While there were still no diamonds to be found, the iron ore was plentiful. I helped myself to as much of the iron as I could carry and smelted a bunch of it down into some more ingots. I made a temporary smelting location to smelt the iron while I mined. I already had a set of iron tools and armor, so out of all the iron, I made an anvil so we can repair our gear when it loses durability. My pickaxe can be the first candidate to get repaired. Once I was done mining, I went above ground to my base where Windcaller was waiting for me.
Zozo, I've given the base a new addition that will be sure to keep you safe while you build up your strength.
That sure is nice of you.
Consider it my thanks for all the hard work you've put in so far.
I went to see what the Windcaller had added to the base and found a well-constructed security bunker to hide in case of invasion. This looks like it will come in handy. From day 27 to day 31, I was far away from the base, exploring the cypress swamplands when I had first learned about the existence of netherite swords. If I remember my last visit correctly, I also defeated a couple of whisperers while I was here. The whole area looked totally peaceful now, without any of Mike's minions to be seen. As I was taking in the pleasant vibes, I was approached by a kindly Fletcher, who seemed rather happy that the swamplands were free of baddies.
Wowee zowie! You must be Zozo the Electric Tiger. I heard you took down those whisperers some days ago.
That's me. I'm the toughest and only electric tiger around.
That's wicked awesome. It's good to know that there are people out there looking for strength who are also nice and willing to stand up for the weak.
I will do my best to help those in need.
I heard there were some other whisperers skulking around and looking to challenge you. They must really want to stand up for that Mike guy.
I can take them. Do you know where they are?
Not right now, but they'd probably hunt me down and try to beat me up if they knew I told you that. Then they'd be right here in the swamp again.
I know. What if you stayed at my base for a while, at least until I have my match with Mike? That way, I can protect you. The Fletcher agreed, and together we went back to my base where I added a base extension. I made a small outdoors library with a few couches to have a nice cozy place to relax. The books that I put on the shelves would teach me strategies and techniques for winning battles. Because knowledge is power. Later, I was approached by Windcaller, who had some bad news.
Zozo, we have to come with you again. Mike's minions have discovered the Order of the Shield and are attacking its members. We need to check on the Illusioner before he could be next.
Oh no, that sounds serious. Let's go! From day 32 to day 35, Windcaller and I crossed the Baobab Savannah to reach the Illusioner's shack. When we found the place, it was too late. The shack was under attack by a Whisperer, and the Illusioner was desperately fighting for his life.
You Order of the Shield fools can't win. Mike makes right. The saying is might makes right. What you said is just silly. You're calling us silly? Just for that, you're going to die.
The Whisperer destroyed the Illusioner right before our eyes. You monsters!
Talk about pathetic. Is this all the Order of the Shield is made of?
You're dead wrong. I'm Zozo, the Electric Tiger. I am the champion, and I'll show you how strong I am. I called down a lightning strike, getting the Whisperer's attention and dealing a bunch of damage in the process. With a few swings of my iron sword, I made that Whisperer pay for what it did to the Illusioner. More Whisperers emerged from the edges. I was so angry, I didn't even need to use my energy blasts to bring the pain and take them all down. When the battle was over, Windcaller and I planned what our next move would be.
We need to be on the lookout for any other mobs that are working for Mike.
Curse him! We were too late to save the Illusioner from his rampage.
We'll keep an eye out for the other surviving members of the Order of the Shield, and once we're together, we'll help you become the strongest champion you can be.
From day 36 to day 39, I returned to the bamboo jungle so I could practice all my most powerful fighting moves in a safe place where none of my friends would get hurt. I was tossing around energy blast when I blasted away some bamboo and found an iron golem hiding nearby.
Whoa, easy with those blasts. You could knock somebody out with those.
My apologies, I didn't know you were here. Sometimes I don't know my own strength.
Oh, no, it's okay. I actually have been searching for someone strong enough to defeat the ruthless roaming Ravager.
If it's a worthy opponent that gives me a chance to test my skills, then I'm 100% game. Where is this Ravager anyway?
I'll show the way, oh mighty Electric Tiger.
I was brought to another part of the bamboo forest where the ruthless roaming Ravager was running around. It was my time to bring that bad boy down. I fired some energy blasts from my paws, and the Ravager responded by jumping over to me and making a few attacks. I countered with my iron sword. The battle raged on for a while, but I knew from the start I would come out on top. And I was right! I returned to the Iron Golem to tell him that I had successfully defeated that rascally Ravager.
Ha, you really are one tough tiger.
That's for sure. From day 40 to day 43, I was in the base and decided to see how the fungus thrower was doing. It looked like he had been hard at work decorating the base with all sorts of tiger patterned banners and paintings. This base looks absolutely awesome now. Good job, fungus.
I'm glad you like it. I was just sprucing the place up in preparation for the pigs I invited over.
You invited pigs?
Yep, I invited some pigs because I thought they might enjoy themselves here.
That's a bad pun, but not a bad idea. I say yes.
Fantastic! I mean, fantastic!
The pigs that Fungus Thrower invited arrived soon after and were the life of the party. I even got to train my defenses against their classic pig pile technique. After entertaining our fine piggy guests for a while, I went for a walk out in the base and ran into Fletcher. Everything all right, Fletcher?
I'm worried about my home back in the Cypress Swamplands. Do you think you could go check on it just to be safe?
Sure, buddy. It's the least I can do for a friend. From day 44 to day 49, I went back to the Cypress Swamplands like Fletcher wanted me to. I was expecting there might be a few whisperers milling about, but I never imagined that I'd see Mike himself.
What up, Tiger? Ready to take another shot at the big man?
Mike, this should be between you and me. What you did to the Order of the Shield was unforgivable.
Nah, no way. I've been beefing with those bozos since long before you showed up. And if you're the chosen champion they kept talking about, then I had to take them down before you become any stronger.
So you did it because you're afraid I'll get stronger than you? Well, now you've made sure it'll happen. I will beat you, Mike, one of these days.
You want to make this personal, huh? Alright, let's make it personal. See if you can take on my man, the Piglin Brute.
To my surprise, Mike ran off and stuck me fighting with one big mean mob that he called a Piglin Brute. It sure did live up to its name.
I'm about to show you why they call me the Piglin Brute. Because I'm brutal.
Yeah, I already got that.
Put up your dukes, Electric Tiger!
He slammed me with an attack that was definitely brutal, but thankfully, my iron helmet was able to soak up some of the damage. I traded blows using my sword and started to wear him down, but the knockback of his attacks was giving me some trouble. This will be a tough fight. From day 50 to day 53, I had started to use my energy blast to continue to deal damage to the piglin brute. He didn't show much signs of tiring, but then again, neither did I.
I can see why the Order of the Shield was impressed by you, but you can't really be the champion who will defeat Mike because I'm about to take you down.
Wouldn't bet on it, brute. I launched a couple of strikes at the brute, then I hit him with my sword and knocked him off balance so I could defeat him with some classic Electric Tiger Energy Blast. Bye-bye, brute. You were my biggest and meanest opponent yet, but I've won this round. The piglin brute disappeared, and I soon found an item that he dropped. It was a map leading to Mike's fight club. This is quite a discovery. I didn't know whether Mike expected me to find this or not, but either way, this meant that I could go to his base whenever I wanted. From day 54 to day 57, I cleared the cypress swamplands of all remaining hostile mobs so that Fletcher wouldn't have to worry anymore. The last one in the area was especially tough, a Vindicator who could take a lot of hits from my iron sword. I really had to stay on my guard the whole fight, relying on my new combat strategies that I'd been practicing. Sure enough, I was able to win with plenty of hearts to spare. The Vindicator even dropped a netherite ingot, which was the first step to the netherite sword that I'd need to defeat Mike. I quickly returned to the base to tell Fletcher the good news.
So, the swamplands are safe?
They sure are.
You mean that you found a netherite ingot just like that?
I sure did. That's some kind of coincidence, huh?
It's no coincidence, it's a sign. You are meant to be the champion of the Order of the Shield. It's your destiny.
Well, in that case, I better make the most of this chance and get some diamonds so we can eventually make a netherite sword.
You can do it, Zozo.
From day 58 to day 62, I made a much-needed expansion to the chicken farm so that it could hold more livestock. It was just in time, too, because I was able to round up more chickens for food. An electric tiger's gotta eat to keep his energy up, and delicious chicken tenders are what's on the menu. Next, I delved down to the mining cave to have another look for the diamonds I would need to craft a diamond sword. I had to explore pretty deep, but soon enough, I managed to get my pickaxe into some diamonds. There's many diamonds here. I might believe in destiny after all. I mined for a while and found more than enough diamonds to make the diamond sword, which I planned on using as the foundation for the netherite sword I'd be making later. I used the rest of the diamonds to craft a diamond pickaxe and a full set of diamond armor for myself. Once I was satisfied with the amount of diamonds I had amassed, I returned to the surface of the base and met up with Windcaller. Hey, Windcaller, I've crafted a diamond sword.
That's excellent, Zozo. We should celebrate in the brand new super amazing party room that I just built.
Oh wow, no way! A party room! I love parties! While I had been down in the mines, Windcaller had given the base its most exciting feature yet, a decorated room for hosting parties. I tried out the dance floor and had a really good time. From day 63 to day 66, I was hanging out at the base with Fungus Thrower, discussing ways for me to become even stronger. If I could train in a new location, maybe I'd be able to discover some new fighting moves. I actually know just the place. If you train in the harsh sunlight of the desert, you'll increase your strength in no time. How do I find the desert? I'll show you the way on your map. The Fungus Thrower marked the desert as a location on the map I received from the fallen piglin brute. It looked like it was on the way to the biome where Mike's fight club could be found. I should get used to that path while I'm out there. I went to the desert and felt the sun beating down on me. This would be a good place to train, and I was in the mood for a fight with a scary opponent. Across the dunes, I saw one scary-looking wither skeleton. I moved towards him with my sword drawn, ready for battle. Hey you, wanna fight Zozo the Electric Tiger?
No thank you. I don't want to fight, especially not a tough customer like you.
Okay, I can respect that. We won't fight.
Did you think just because I'm scary looking that I'd want to fight? You really shouldn't judge people by their outward appearances.
Yeah, that was my bad. I'm very sorry about that, friend. Lesson learned.
It happens to me a lot, I'm afraid. Just the other day, a Zoglin tried to pick a fight with me. I told him, no, wait for a strong person who wants to fight.
Well, if that Zoglin wants a fight, I'll fight him. I came here to train anyway. From day 67 to day 70, the friendly wither skeleton brought me to meet the Zoglin, a dangerous opponent who was also looking for a challenging fight. The Zoglin agreed to fight me one-on-one so we could test each other's strength. Before the fight began, the wither skeleton took me aside so we could have a quick discussion.
Are you sure you can win, Zozo? I didn't mean to put you in danger.
I think I've got a chance, but thanks for being concerned.
No, thank you for fighting this battle for me.
That's what a strong person does. Now I'm gonna go kick some Zoglin butt. The fight between myself and the Zoglin was off to an exciting start when the Zoglin charged straight at me. I dodged his powerful tusks and hit with my sword while his back was turned. The Zoglin countered by hitting me with his tusks. I lost a few hearts, but I was still in the fight. I fired some energy blasts and used my signature lightning strike to deliver the last blow, defeating the Zoglin.
Zozo, you did it!
I am the Electric Tiger Zozo! Remember the name! From day 71 to day 74, I had completely left the desert behind and was traveling through a new biome, the Eroded Badlands. According to the Piglin Brutes map, this was the same biome where the entrance to Mike's Fight Club could be found. The map also says you can find more of my Zozo videos by searching ZO in the YouTube search bar. You should try it out. I followed the directions on the map further into the Eroded Badlands, and I could see Mike's Fight Club in the distance. Just you wait, Mike. I'll fight you one of these days.
I heard that, Zozo.
Suddenly, Mike was right next to me, and he was looking as strong as ever.
You shouldn't have said that, Sparkplug. Now I'm gonna give you a taste of my super special punch, the Mike Spike.
Oh no, I forgot that today is one of those days.
Mike Spike!
He punched me, and my heart started to deplete. Thank goodness I was wearing diamond armor. I drew my diamond sword and swung at him, but the damage it did was really low.
You're still weak, kitty cat.
No way! Well, I need a netherite sword to even stand a chance? I ran away from the fight, retracing my steps through the Eroded Badlands. I still wasn't strong enough to beat him. From day 75 to day 78, I followed the map home to my base and went directly into the bunker to work out. Somehow, I couldn't find the energy to train, probably because I was disappointed that I had to run away from Mike. Mike was the strongest in the world, and I still didn't have the netherite sword I would need to actually challenge him. From what he said before, even that might not be enough.
Cheer up, Zozo. You have our strength too, so don't give up.
It was Windcaller. He had come into the bunker to check on me and raise my spirits. Thanks, Windcaller. I'm feeling like I'm weak today, so I really needed to hear that.
Follow me. I'll show you something that might also help.
There was now a new watchtower at the front of the base where we could look out at the Baobab Savannah from. All of a sudden, I feel a whole lot better, Windcaller. Now I remember what I'm fighting for.
You are the champion, Electric Tiger Zozo. Don't forget it.
Now that I was feeling better, I went to go visit Fletcher. Hey there, Fletcher.
Zozo, I got you this special magic apple to help make you strong enough to face Mike.
Well, an apple a day, as they say. I scarfed down the apple and began to grow into an even bigger electric tiger with 60 hearts. In addition to bigger damage and more health, I could also perform a special whirlwind attack. Mike won't know what hit him. From day 79 to day 84, I was feeling strong and decided to go back to the Eroded Badlands. This time, there was no sign of Mike, so I fought some skeletons to test my newfound strength. I wanted to prove to myself that I had what it takes to become the strongest. A nearby weaponsmith saw me defeat those mobs and thought that I was pretty cool, so he offered to upgrade my weapons. This is my chance to get a netherite sword.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Just give me your diamond sword and your netherite ingots, and I'll take care of the rest.
I gave the weaponsmith what he needed and waited in anticipation for him to finish my super cool netherite sword. It didn't take him that long, and I could tell just by swinging it that this netherite sword was the most powerful weapon that I'd ever had. Thank you, weaponsmith. I promise to use what you've given me for the side of justice.
Go on and save the world. Every weaponsmith dreams of creating a hero's weapon.
From day 85 to day 89, I returned to the base to show the others that I had obtained the netherite sword and found that it was being attacked by whisperers.
So this is where you ran away to, coward? We're gonna make you feel real silly for leaving Mike in the middle of a fight.
I battled the whisperers with all my might, testing the edge of my netherite sword. These minions had given me trouble in the past, but now I was so much stronger than them that they were barely a threat. I easily defended the base and prevented any further damage to the structures.
Oh man, this guy is actually way too strong. Maybe I should leave this one to Mike. He'll know how to win.
Intimidated by my strength, the whisperers stopped fighting. It was now their turn to run away. Serves you right for trying to mess with my friends. You'll have to deal with this electric tiger now. I chased the whisperers through the Baobab Savannah until my base was far away. Never come back! A villager who saw me bravely face off against Mike's henchmen came over to cheer me on.
You're the electric tiger, the second strongest being in the world.
Soon to be the most strongest, or first strongest, whichever sounds better.
Do you think you can spare some of your strength and give me a hand building a bridge over the river?
Sure thing, villager. I used the materials the villager gave me to finish building the bridge across the river.
Thanks, Zozo. Only a truly strong hero could do something like that.
From day 90 to day 94, I continued onward across the desert and through the eroded Badlands until I saw on the map I was getting close to Mike's arena. I could see one of the Whisperers who had attacked my base lingering nearby, and I drew my netherite sword in preparation for a battle. I'm here to see Mike. I'm going to challenge him for the title of strongest being in the world.
Oh, no you didn't. You're gonna need to get this guy first. He's the second strongest in the whole world.
An armored pillager showed up, taking the place of the Whisperer as my opponent.
I've heard people say that you're the second strongest in the world. Not true, because that's me. I've never beaten Mike, but I'll beat anyone who isn't Mike.
You won't beat me. I'll take your title, then I'll take on Mike.
Then bring it on, Zozo the Electric Tiger.
The armored villager waited for me to make the first move, which I did, using my netherite sword. He blocked the attack and countered with a strike from his own weapon. I lost quite a few hearts and had to dodge back to avoid the worst of his attacks. I used my energy blast to keep him at a distance, but his armor was as tough as mine. You're pretty strong, pillager.
Are you ready to give up and run away?
No way. I'll never back down from a fight again. From day 95 to day 97, I continued to battle against the armored pillager, utilizing all my specially trained techniques to try and gain an advantage. Have another lightning strike.
I can handle your lightning strikes all the livelong day, Zozo.
We'll see about that. I circled around the armored pillager with my whirlwind attack and delivered sword strikes wherever I could. I was still having trouble cracking the second strongest fighter's armor, but I figured I could soften him up for a lightning strike if I just kept attacking. With my whirlwind active, I spun around and unleashed my lightning strike. With that attack, the pillager surrendered. The electric tiger defeated the armored pillager and became the true second strongest in the world.
No, I couldn't achieve my dream of becoming the strongest in the world.
Why did you want to become the strongest so bad? I'm doing it to protect my friends and myself from Mike.
It started that way for me too, but when I realized I would never win, I became his follower. All the people who believed in me before became sad and stopped being my friends, but they went on to form the Order of the Shield.
Wait, you were the original champion.
No, I was just the guy who tried to be a champion before there was a champion. You've got to be better than me, Zozo.
I will, armored pillager. I'll defeat Mike and become the strongest in the world, once and for all. On day 98, I went back to the base to tell everyone that I would soon be facing off against Mike for the ultimate title. I went to visit Windcaller first, who was standing at the top of the watchtower. Thanks to the strength you gave me at the start, I was able to become the champion that you always thought I could be.
It was like I said long ago. My strength was the foundation, but you built it into something better and made it your own.
Thank you for believing in me.
Here is a bit more of my strength in the form of a potion. Drink it before you go into battle.
Next, I met with Fletcher outside of the chicken farm. I wanted to assure him that once I was the strongest, I would use my strength to protect all of the biomes from evil.
Very soon, the world will be safe. I'm glad I was able to help your quest for strength, Zozo.
You gave me what I needed when I needed it most, and I'm so grateful that I was able to meet you.
Make the most of your magic powers. The special techniques will be the key to victory.
After Fletcher, there was only one last friend to thank, the fungus thrower, who was chilling in the party room. This room is the best room, other than a mushroom, of course. That's a fungus. I look forward to hanging out after I beat Mike once and for all. It'll be a big celebration. On day 99, I made my way back to the eroded Badlands and saw the first glimpses of Mike's base. I approached, and there were the Whisperers waiting to stand in the way. Move aside, small fry. I'm here for Mike. You guys don't need to be involved. The Whisperers bolted for the hills, and I ran straight into Mike's base. On day 100, I walked into Mike's fight club with my netherite sword drawn. Mike, I'm here to fight. The big golem himself, Mike, appeared before me in order to fight.
Zozo the Electric Tiger, you fought all the other strong people in the world, and now you think you can steal my crown.
I do. I'm gonna make sure that you are put down for the count.
Lots of people have said that to me before, and I've beaten them all. I didn't get to be the strongest because I made excuses. I just kept fighting and winning.
But you didn't fight the Whisperers when they started going after the Order of the Shield. You didn't want a champion to fight you.
I don't care what those weaklings do or what fights they get into. All that matters is the fight between me and you. That's how it's always been, destined champion. Let's do this in a place worthy of this showdown.
Mike left, and I ran after him. He turned into his fighting arena. I followed him in when he hit at the entrance and slammed his golem fist into my body. It was the Mike Spike, his signature opening move. I drew my netherite sword and dealt some real damage to him for the first time. I followed up with a whirlwind and a lightning strike. Mike threw me across the fight club. Then he jumped and slammed onto me, dealing a lot of damage. He tried to attack again, but I hit him with an energy blast. He caught him off guard, and I was able to land a bunch of other energy blasts after. Then I remembered to drink up the strength potion Windcaller gave me. I felt much stronger now. As we stood there, swinging away at each other, hit after hit, I was wearing the golem down. Eventually, one of us fell. Mike actually dropped. Yes, Zozo the Electric Tiger wins! I had completed the 100-day challenge to defeat the strongest being in the world. I had won!